Hello and welcome to Mac Media Day here on the Field of 68 Media Network. My name is Rob Dauster. The guy that you see on the other side of the screen there with me is Jeff Goodman, and today we are going to be hearing from all 13 coaches in the Mac and their Media Day guests, shall we say. So we'll have a player and a coach from every team in the MAC joining us here over the course of the next 3 hours. Before we dive into all of that, Jeff, I think we need to get into the preseason poll. I know you love preseason polls. At this time of year, preseason polls are your absolute favorite thing in college basketball. And you'll be absolutely flabbergasted to find out that the team that won the regular season title last year, the team that won the MAC tournament last year, and the team that made the NCAA tournament from this conference received 11 of the first place votes and was picked number one in the poll, and that is the Akron Zips.
The Zips. Zipper. I don't have a zipper. Otherwise, I would zip up my shirt. But yes, the Zips are number one, the overwhelming favorite, despite losing arguably the best player in the league and losing a good amount, Rob. I mean, it's not like they didn't lose a good amount, but you know what they do? They bring back a decent amount. They bring back, Tavari Johnson, one of the best players in the league, certainly returning players, and Evan Mahaney, who comes in as a transfer, a well-traveled transfer.
Mahaffey, do your homework, please, sir. Evan Mahaffey.
Mahaffey, I'm sorry. I always call him Evan Mahaney. I don't know why. Anyway, what John Gross has done these last few years is nothing short of remarkable. Reinventing himself, dominating this league. And, you look at the guy that's number two right now, Travis Steele. He also brings a ton back. From teams that were at the top of the league competing last year for the title, you would think those teams would be absolutely ravaged by the portal, and they really weren't. I mean, they were hit, but they weren't crushed. It's not a rebuild by any means for either of them.
Yeah, and you look at the top three teams in the preseason poll, right? And Akron brings back, you mentioned Tavari Johnson, Seamus Scott, and Evan Mahaffey. And they got, I think it's 5 rotation pieces are coming back. Travis was able to bring back 6 rotation pieces at Miami of Ohio. Kent State is bringing back 4 of their most important players, and those are the 3 teams picked at the top of that. I
love
this.
I love it.
And look, what's wild about where we are in college basketball right now is that we are sitting here celebrating the fact that a team like Akron lost the conference player of the year to Kansas State and lost Josiah Harris to a transfer, and was able to bring back 5 guys like that. That's a win in college basketball right now. You can bring back 5 or 6 rotation players. Then you're sitting here like, oh yeah, we're great. Things have never been better.
It's different now, right? If you can bring back, I've said this, 4 of your top 8, you're in good shape now. To me, that's the number you want. And anything beyond that is a huge, huge success. But 4 of your top 8, you're feeling pretty good. If you're bringing back, 1 or 2 of your top 8, yeah, you got to be a little bit worried, because even if you're talented, it takes a while for the most part to kind of figure this thing out, figure your team out, and for them to figure each other out.
Yep. The rest of the poll, Ohio was predicted 4th. UMass, a new addition to the conference, was 5th. Toledo was 6th, followed by Bowling Green, Ball State, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, Buffalo, Central Michigan, and Northern Illinois. I do want to get to quickly the preseason All-MAC teams. First team, Tavari Johnson, Javante Kembo, Delrico Gillespie, Peter Suter, and Jackson Pavletsky, as you can see there on the screen. And the second team was Evan, not Mahaney, Evan Mahaffey. I'm never going to let you forget that one, Goodman. Seamus Scott at Akron, Daniel Hankins Sanford at UMass, Ian Elmer, Javin Sivens, and Sonny Wilson. So there's a lot of talent in this league, a lot of guys coming back. And I'm expecting a very, very fun season out of it. It always is, though. Like, I feel like this conference always has a fun race, and there's always 2 or 3 teams at the top where you're like, yeah, if any of these teams get into the dance, they're going to give somebody a major, major headache.
I love the MAC. I do. I love the MAC. This league, I've always loved it because, again, it's always had dangerous teams, really good players, really good coaches, competitive races, fun coaches. We're going to start with a fun coach here in a minute. I'm shocked if Burno is up for 9 a.m. and is connected here and figured out the technology and all that, I will be flabbergasted right now.
Well, let's find out if Rashawn Burno, the Northern Illinois head coach, is here. Yes, he is.
There
Coach
he is.
Burno,
There he
what's
is.
going on, man? Look, you already have. It's your first win of the season. You just proved Jeff Goodman wrong. He didn't think that you were going to make it for a 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's a little bit disrespectful, but nothing's unexpected with dealing with Jeff. So he has low expectations for the human race. So,
Berto, what's up? What's up?
what's going on, man? What's going on?
I figured you'd be up late watching The Sopranos late last night. Is that true?
I'm probably on The Wire more so than The Sopranos at this point, but that's probably my second favorite show of all time.
Is it your first time through The Wire, or have you watched it a bunch?
First full time.
Really?
Before we were going in segments, but now we have one of my guys, Jao, who's a big Wire fan. So he all he does is sound bites. So I had to get caught up to speed because I need to keep my credibility from Jersey City. So I had to get back into the trenches of The Wire.
You lost your credibility a long time ago in Jersey City, my man. That's all I got to say. Long time ago.
Berno, when you finish, you come talk to me. That's my favorite show in the history of television, man. When you finish, you come talk to me.
We definitely will. I think I'm on season 4. So
it's good.
It's a lot to catch up with.
Hey, does the guy to your left, as we're looking at you, does the guy to your left, right. Dylan, to our left, as the viewers are looking at him, he's on his left. Anyway, Dylan, do you have any idea what we're talking about with The Wire or The Sopranos?
Yeah, man. He looks American, but he's an international kid.
All right. Hey, Berno, I want to hear you pronounce Dylan's last name for us.
You see why this guy is just difficult to deal with, right? And you see why there's this half of the country has issues with Jeff and the other half doesn't. Questions like this. I'm not going to dignify an answer with that question.
What do you call him?
Shopmaker, Dylan.
There you go. All right, that's fair. That's fair. I would do that too if he's as talented as we all think he is. Give us first. A lot of people won't have a newcomer like Dylan at Media Day today. They'll bring a veteran in. They'll bring somebody who's been a veteran in college basketball. Number one, why did you bring Dylan with you? Number two, who is Dylan? Describe him as a player for us.
Well, I think he's earned it. We had a chance to get connected early in the recruitment process. A quick little story. My son, who's the video coordinator with the Chicago Bulls, was his assistant coach on the Swiss national team. So I had a chance to see Dylan over the summer compete live. And he's been everything I thought he was during the recruitment process. You know, obviously it's different when you get to coach him in the practice and the film sessions. But, you know, he's a talented guard that can shoot it, that can run a team. He's probably the best guard I've had since I've been here. And so super excited to have him sitting next to me and give him this experience of having his first media day with the infamous Jeff Goodman.
Dylan, take me through the recruitment process, right? You're from Switzerland. How did you end up at Northern Illinois, and how did you kind of make that connection with Coach Burno, and where did just take me through the decision-making process ending up at NIU?
As Coach said, we got connected really early in the season, and just everything that Coach Burno said to me on camera, because at the time we didn't have the possibility to actually get connected in person. I really liked it. You know, he showed me stats that he wanted me to work on, and just a lot of stuff that proved me that he was really interested in me and wanted me to get better and have the program get better. So I really just liked it, and I ended up going there.
Pronounce your last name for us, Dylan, so we get it straight. So Burno can learn it.
Do you want it in French or?
Give it to him in French so he doesn't know.
So in French, it will be du comment, right?
Du comment?
But
okay. Yeah.
I say in English probably du commune, probably, yeah. It's easier.
We're just gonna call you Big D after somebody. You know, I feel like he's gonna be a dominant player in the league. Burnout.
Yeah,
So
I don't think sure Jeff, as your colleague to the left of you, is like just you don't say that, but we'll talk offline about that.
okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. I say a lot of things I shouldn't, Burno, as do you. As do you.
That's one of
We
them.
if we checked our
That's
text
one of them.
messages to each other.
Yeah.
If
Look, we need to Jeff, next year when we do this, like we cannot start with Burno because we're 5 minutes into this thing and you are already completely off the rails. Like Burno's got to be at the end. We need someone serious at the start because this is a complete mess. I'm getting this thing back on track.
No, I got you. I want to ask Dylan a question. Dylan, you played a lot of international basketball. You've probably watched a good amount of NBA basketball, if I had to guess. Give me a player that you play like, that your game is like, and then I want Burno to jump in with if he agrees or he has a better one.
Well, that's tough. I wouldn't say NBA, but he played in the NBA for a couple years, I think. I really like Nigel Williams-Goss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We remember
Yeah.
him. Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nigel
Big
Williams-Goss is a player I like to watch because I think we have like the same body and stuff. So it's just, yeah.
Why do you know who Nigel Williams-Goss is? Is it just from playing? Did you see him play in EuroLeague?
Yeah. I play. He won the EuroLeague with Madrid, went to Olympiacos in Greece, and now he's in Zagreus in Lithuania. So I just be following a lot.
Burno, you got one?
I would say Murray from Denver, with his ability to shoot it, score it, and facilitate. He has a lot of similarities, and I told him that during the recruiting process. He can really stretch the floor with his scoring ability, and he's very, very efficient. He's not like a high volume scorer or shooter. He can get you, 20 on 8 for 12 shots, or 8 to 10 shots, because his ability to shoot the ball from three. But he's a fierce competitor. That's the one thing during the recruiting process. His basketball IQ, his attention to the game is one of the best I've been around at any level. So that's one of the attributes I think is going to really help us this season.
Bruno, you brought in 16 new guys this summer, which I think is across all of the media days that we've done. I think that might be the biggest number that I've seen. First of all, have you gotten rid of the name tags on everybody's jerseys yet when you go into practice? And how do you where do you even start when you have that many new faces? Is it as simple as just trying to get everyone on the same page terminology wise? Is it trying to make sure that everybody kind of gets along and doing the team bonding stuff? How do you go through that process of rebuilding that many new bodies in that short of a time?
Well, the summer is really a catalyst to get that stuff done. We've been together, minus Dylan and the international kids, because he was playing for his country. We were together since June 16th. And so you have 8 weeks to really forge those two things, getting to know each other, getting, obviously everybody on the same page in regards to, concepts, offense, defense. And so you got to be really diligent in your summer preparation. And so then you have another training camp scenario where you get another 30 practices in 40-something days where you're building onto the stuff that you did over the summer. And so you got to be deliberate. You got to be intentional with the time that you spend with these guys. You still have restrictions in the summer where you only get 4 hours a week. And so we try to do a lot of stuff that requires these guys to get to know each other off the court. And then on the court, basketball is universal. I mean, when you compete, you're competing. So the guys who are from the international side, the guys from, New York, New Jersey, whoever your roster's made up, these guys are going to really start to bond as much as they, obviously compete and being in a locker room. So we try to be diligent on and off the court in regards to making sure these guys stay connected or get the process started to connect.
Hey, Berna, I'm gonna give you credit. I reached out for some good dirt on you to Bobby Hurley, to Billy Donovan, to others close to you. And none of them would give me anything. It was shocking. Bobby Hurley was like, I don't do this well. I don't remember a lot of these stories. Billy Donovan said he was going to get back to me and nothing. I mean, I know he's busy. So you've got it locked down because we know there are plenty of stories. Dylan, you will find out plenty of stories. And I'll give you more NIL for every good video you send me of Burno this year, your NIL price will go up. All right, I can promise you.
Listen, you said one of my. I'm sorry,
go ahead. No, you're good.
One of my favorite TV shows is what?
Sopranos.
So
All right.
I know where the bodies are buried, my friend.
JJ Taylor, what a transition. A kid from Chicago, started his career at Memphis, highly touted, went to UCF last year, played a little bit. Give me what you expect out of JJ Taylor this season.
I think he's going to be like a unicorn for us in the sense of like he's uniquely different than a lot of guys that's in the MAC. You typically don't see a 6'8", 6'9" kid who can play, 1 through 4. And he's had a really good summer, just rededicating his mind and his body to the game. I think his previous stops, the Memphis situation was a little bit bumpy. I thought he had a good campaign at UCF where he played almost 20 minutes a game, was competitive. So I think this is a coming out party for him. He understands what he needs to do to really put himself back in that top echelon of the best players in the MAC. And I thought he had the right mindset from the moment he stepped on campus.
Last one I got for you, Dylan, is you, like Coach said, you arrived there after the summer. So a lot of the other guys on the roster were able to kind of work together a little bit and get to know each other. So I'm curious, give me a couple of the players that have been there that have impressed you. Like who has made you kind of say, oh, he's better than maybe I thought he was? Give me a couple names of guys that have been impressive in the fall.
For sure, JJ Taylor is a really talented guy. Makai too, really good shooter. Johnny, playmaker, super fast, be able to read the floor really well. I think we got a couple guys that are really, really talented, and all of them really impressed me. So I think
there you go. That's the answer right there. Everyone, right?
No, for sure.
All of them. Listen, Burno, Dylan, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season. And once again, we'll try to make this be an afternoon thing moving forward.
It's always good to get Jeff done early. It's always just good, do your hard. It's like when you're in a math class, you do the hardest problems early, and then you take the rest of the day to finish out the easy stuff. So dealing with Jeff early in the morning is preferred.
Rip the Band-Aid off as soon as possible, right?
Dylan, enjoy the year. I don't know if you've heard about dog years, but 1 year with Burno is like 7 overall. Just so you know.
God bless Jeff. God bless Jeff.
We'll see you guys.
All right, guys. Later.
Thank you, fellas. I'm serious. We cannot have him on at 9 a.m. anymore. For the people watching at home, Goodman got on about 2 minutes before we started. It was just like, you better be ready to go, Rob. I'm bringing the energy today. And that was too much. We got no more coffee for you before these shows. You got to wait until afterwards.
I got it right here. I'm ready to go, baby.
Coming up next, we're going to have Mike Lewis from Ball State and his senior point guard, Jawan Maxey, who I believe are here right now joining us on Mac Media Day on the Field of 68. Mike, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. Jawan, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. I don't know if we can follow that act, though. I'm not sure I'm going to rip you quite like I rip Burno, but nobody's safe in the Mac. Just wait. Hey, make sure you stick around. For anybody watching right now, and that includes you, Louis, make sure you stick around for the Frank Martin segment, okay? We got some photos here that you're going to want to see.
No, Burno's one of a kind, and Frank's a great addition to this conference, and he's not scared.
Well,
he'll be
Jawan,
scared of
these photos.
Yeah. Oh, great. That's exactly what I want to hear. Jawan, you transferred in from Youngstown State. Can you just kind of take me through the decision-making process of deciding to play with Coach Lewis and maybe kind of what you expect out of yourself this season?
The reason why I chose Ball State was, Coach Lewis has played on the highest level of college basketball. And for my last year, why not get any advice from point guard himself? So, just being a smaller guard, he's been through the fire, and there's nobody who I want to go to war with but him. And what I expect this year, just bring this school, this university up. You know, it's been down for a little bit, but I told my coach I got his back this year. We're gonna compete on the highest level this year for sure.
Hey, Mike, I know Maxie's a kid that you liked coming out of the portal. Obviously, Youngstown State, a Detroit kid, played JUCO ball. How much of it is the toughness too, and the grind of him being able to kind of fight it out to get to this level? We were talking yesterday about this a little bit, and Juwan, you can add on this, the appreciation too of playing at this level for a kid like him.
Yeah, I think he has that. I think, you know, as you get to know him through the recruiting process, you could see that, like his journey. Like everybody's got a different path, and his journey to Ball State is different than a lot. I think he provides, he had an excellent second half of the season. He's got an ability to make shots at a high level. You know, he can get on some burners that you just got to find him ways to get the ball in the air, and it's got a pretty good chance of going in. And you know, he's continued to grow in his ball handling abilities, his decision making as a guard, and then just, you know, understanding the flow of the game and some shot selection things. But I think he's got an excellent opportunity to be very impactful for our program, and I think he's got a really bright future.
Coach, you brought in quite a few backcourt pieces this season. Devon Barnes, Elmer Jones, Armani Ziegler, that gentleman sitting right next to you, Davion Hill. Was that – it feels like that was something that you kind of thought through and said, we need more guards, we need more handlers, we need more decision makers, we need more playmakers. Was that part of the process of putting all these guys together?
No, Rob, I just woke up one day and just decided to go get these guys.
Good job. Good job. Hey, he asked a dumb question, so you give him a dumb answer. Good job. I like it.
No, when I sat down and evaluated our program at the end of last year, and kind of going through some of the analytics of where our program stood, particularly positionally, I just felt like we needed more contribution from our backcourt. Like when you compared our backcourt a year ago to some backcourts in our league, we weren't exactly where we needed to be. And so I felt like we needed some help in those areas. I think college basketball, guards win a lot of games in college basketball, and you've got to have good guards to be competitive. And I thought we just needed more depth in that area. I thought we've added some athleticism. I think we've added some shooting. So you combine those things. It was a high priority to get tough, competitive dudes in the portal, in our recruiting class, and to go heavy in our backcourt area.
So I remember the kid Caden Fish from the Peach Jam a few years ago. I think he played Mocan Elite and was a really good player for them. Goes to Iowa State, just didn't work out. I mean, they were loaded number one, and I think he got hurt one of his years. Where is he at right now, health-wise, number one? And at your level, obviously, he should be a pretty big impact player, I would assume, this year. How?
Yeah, I think you can do a lot. One, his health, I think he's in a pretty good spot health-wise. Had a little knee injury towards late in the summer, but I think that's corrected. He's had a pretty productive fall. Just got to get his confidence back. And I think, you and I have talked about this a lot, about guys in this portal, and just like, where they go, their experience, reality, all those things, and just getting him back to playing confident. But I think the thing that you can do with Caden is, like, he's got a pretty good basketball IQ. Like you can run some offense through him as you see some of these offenses expand, more perimeter oriented. Like he can make good decisions. He can pass the ball. I think he's going to be a little bit. I think our level fits him for what he can do on the interior, maybe more than, like, there's not a lot of 7-foot dudes in the MAC. And so he's, and you look at some of the post players that have had success in the MAC, he's physically very similar to what he is. And so, sometimes when we start getting sped up so far in practice offensively, he can kind of slow us down and settle us and get us into some things, which is obviously nice to have at that position.
Juwan, who do you model your game after when you're watching film in the summer and the fall and get ready for the season? Who are you watching?
I just watch a lot of. I used to watch a lot of Chris Paul back in the day. That was my favorite player growing up. But obviously, I can shoot the ball pretty well, and I still have to get a lot better. But I try to see like how Steph Curry gets his shots off quick, and his footwork and all that. But just the smaller guards that's been dominant in the league, just film like that.
So, Mike, you brought in Armand Ziegler, Zakai's half brother. He's a lot bigger than Zakai, right? 6'3", 6'4", played at St. Peter's, but probably, again, has some of that New York toughness. What's he like? What's he like as a player, and how different? I assume he's very different than his brother.
Yeah, I think they have different games, but I like you've mentioned the toughness a couple times. I think that was a priority of ours. Guys that emphasize winning. Armani's a really unique kid. Like that, really overall, Jeff. Like I've really enjoyed coming to work every day and coaching this group. I like how good are we going to be? Like we'll see. But like I've really enjoyed working with these guys, and Armani's one of those guys. He's got a really good personality. He's got a toughness on the court. He's competitive. Him, like a lot of guys, his age, so to speak, like just trying to get the consistency in how they approach every day, and not allowing, just being consistent in their work, consistent in their performance, not allowing, if things are going well, like, okay, now we're a bunch of front runners and we take off, and like if we make a poor play, like get to the next play, and just trying to develop that mental toughness it takes to become more of a consistent player, because I think he's got a lot of natural ability.
All right. So, Juwan, I went to a couple of your coaches' former bosses, try to get a little dirt on him here. Mick Cronin, Tim Miles, those are two. They were willing to give plenty. I mean, there was no stopping them. There was no stopping them.
They must forget that I know where their bodies are buried now. They must forget.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'll be asking you for plenty of stuff on Miles before Thursday's Mountain West Media Day. So feel free to get him back. We'll start with Mick. Mick said you were the only guy in California when you went out to be an assistant at UCLA that would keep asking for Coors beer at restaurants. That it took you 2 years to realize, like, they don't sell Coors at restaurants in California, especially in Calabasas. True?
Well, that is partly true. It just has the brand wrong. You can get a Coors Light in Los Angeles, but I'm from Southern Indiana, Du Bois County. It's a big product here in Delaware County, here in Muncie. But a Busch Light is really hard to find in Calabasas, California.
Number two, Miles said, I mean, here's the crazy part. You went out golfing years ago in a foursome with Cronin, with Tim Miles, with a guy named Jimmy Lee, who I don't know who that is, while you were at Butler. And looking like this on the golf course, both Cronin and Miles actually hired you. Like, it's unfathomable to me. Like, look at what are you wearing?
Well, it's about 117 in Las Vegas. Jimmy Lee is a big financial guy. Obviously, with Cronin and Tim Miles, and then Dane Fife was the other guy in that fourth. So we had fivesome that day. Jimmy pulled some strings. It was great. We had 2 caddies for 5 guys. Okay, the caddies didn't know anybody in the group. Like, they just didn't know who was who. They didn't know any. They didn't recognize anybody. And so, Fife. So Fife's dominating this one caddy to help him line up this putt. He's got no chance of making this thing, right? And so Cronin, you can tell he's standing off on the side, and Timmy's starting to get a little agitated. Okay, so he tells the caddy, he said, "Hey, look, man, there's 3 of us here that have 2 commas in our salary. Those 2 jokers only got 1. You might want to come over here and help us." So that's how he got the name 2 comma Timmy.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I was carrying my own bag. I mean, I was lining up my own putts. Those 2 guys gravitated over them. They knew where the tip was coming from.
There you go. All right. Last one I got for you, Mike. When you are turning over a roster like this, right? You have a lot of veteran guards. I'm going to go back to the backcourt thing, but a lot of veteran guards. Does that kind of ease the process when you have experienced ball handlers and guys that kind of already know what is going on in the world of basketball?
Well, it's interesting. Like our women's coach has a bunch of freshmen coming in, and it's like, okay, like we've talked a lot. Like, are you trying to like? He's got a bunch of freshmen that don't know much. You know, he's developing habits, but they're his habits, right? When you have veteran guards, there is some experience that comes in that you're looking for, but also you've got to be able to work with habits, right? Like this guy's, played for, 3 or 4 coaches here. He's got habits of each spot he's been, and so you're trying to break some of those habits to try to fit the things that you're looking for in your program. So I think there's a little bit of both, but I do think just the experience of playing at this level and understanding how difficult it is to win at this level and all the things that it goes into just winning just one game, let alone trying to get to 20 plus wins or something like that. Like just all the work that it takes to prepare and compete for one game and the details that it takes to go into every day to try to get better. And then just, helping these guys try to grow and mature and like they know what they want to become and try to help them develop the habits and the characteristics and the behaviors it takes to achieve those things that they want to achieve.
Well, listen, guys, really appreciate it. Mike, Juwan, great seeing you guys. Good luck this season. Following Burno, no easy task, but you did it, and you did it well, Mike.
Well, you call me, I'm going to get Miles.
Oh, yeah. Start thinking of some good things. All right, there you have it. Ball
Appreciate
State head coach Michael Lewis and Juwan Maxey here on Mac Media Day. Next up, a guy that really needs no introduction, but we will give him an introduction anyway. A guy that has been in a constant fight with American Airlines. A guy that is batting third for the first time in his career. A guy, none other than UMass head coach Frank Martin and his player Daniel Hankins Sanford. Francisco, how are you? We don't even look, we can't even hear him. This is the greatest interview of all time. I can yell at him and he can't even yell back. Frank, this is awesome. This is what I yearn for. All right. Rob, does it get better than that? Watching mute Frank.
After you teed up that intro for him, all I wanted to hear was what he had ready for you coming back. Because if there's one thing that we all know about Frank Martin, is that he's going to have some kind of comeback, some kind of line, some kind of quip. So I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat, waiting to hear what he has to say for you. First time
You're not
he's
the only one.
Third.
You're not
First
the only one. I think his wife Anya was probably waiting as well to see what he would come back at me with.
I want to know why he's in a fight with American Airlines. What happened with American Airlines?
That's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out. That's probably what he was going to talk about. Probably wasn't about batting third for the first time in his life. Frank Martin certainly took over a couple of years ago at UMass. 20-win season a couple of years ago. Had a little bit of a down year this past year. The portal does that to the best of them. And, again, I think the biggest thing for them, maybe not the biggest thing, but one of them, we're going to have to ask him about the shooting, right? Like they got it. I assume he went heavy, when he went in the portal, made sure he brought in some shooters because it was not a pretty year for the UMass Minutemen last year shooting the ball from deep.
The biggest question about UMass from last season was whether or not they were a better shooting team than you.
Yeah. No, agreed. And I am a terrible shooter. I'm a hell of a
But no
passer.
one knows that. There's not a single person on the planet that knows whether or not you're a good shooter because you refuse to shoot in front of anybody. You'll talk about how good you are at pickleball.
My shoulder prohibits me. The motion just doesn't work. I can hit a ball. I can't. My shoulder just doesn't go that way anymore. It doesn't. Too many dives. So anyway,
because you are the elite athlete that you are. No, but you talk about the shooting. So what they did bring in was Marcus Banks Jr. And Isaiah, who both averaged more than 8 3-point attempts per game. Marcus shot 42% from 3, and Isaiah shot 35% from 3. So he brought in veteran shooters. Those guys are both grad transfers, fifth-year guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, we got him. We got Frank Martin here. I can hear you counting. Congratulations,
Would you like
Frank.
me to do the intro again?
Now.
Do you want the intro again, Frank? Can you hear me, Frank? Can you hear me?
We're
Would you
good.
like
We're
the
live.
intro
Don't worry.
again, or do you just want to retort? You just want go ahead. All right, what were you going to say?
Hey, Rob, it's great to see you, man.
Great to see you, Frank, man. It's
That's it?
always a
That's all
pleasure,
you
sir.
got? That's all you got?
Hey, Rob, I don't see you as often as I should, given the fact that we live real close to each other. But it's always great to see you. I'm so happy Goodman does not live in the state of Massachusetts anymore.
Yeah. I hear that a lot, Frank. You'd be shocked how much I hear that.
I was his only friend in the state. That's the thing that nobody understands.
All right.
I don't think
we're
it's
gonna
the state of
start on-
Massachusetts, Frank.
Daniel over there is going to have a blast. He's just gonna listen.
Hey, make sure the interview's about him, Jeff, and just so your listeners and everyone that watches, because you said something about having pictures about me, just understand that Mike Lewis got pictures of you too now. So don't act like you don't remember those days now. It's
all right. Hey, there's a statute of limitations on some of those pictures.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Weird to see you in the MAC. I won't lie. Strange to see you in the MAC. What's it been like? Obviously, you haven't played any games there. What I wanted to do was quiz you on the cities in the MAC. That's what I really wanted to do, but I figured that wouldn't be fair since you haven't gone to any of them yet. Is there been anything different with the transition so far?
No, I mean, if this was 6-7 years ago, the hardest the chart would have been recruiting, because East Coast kids don't really want to go to the Midwest, and Midwest kids don't come play on the East Coast to play at UMass. It is what it is, and with us being the only East Coast school that's in the conference, recruiting would have gotten real tricky. But the landscape of recruiting today's day and age, it's a different animal. So it's the biggest the difficulty, Jeff, of winning and losing for our program in the league, in my eyes, was going to be the travel. But our administration, that they've been incredible since I've been here. We charter everywhere, so that eliminates the difficulty of getting from Amherst, Mass to Kalamazoo, Michigan, or whatever other city we're trying to get to.
Yep. Daniel, you signed with Frank when he was at South Carolina, and you stayed there for a year after he left. And then you followed him to UMass, and you stayed there for 3 seasons. And I'm sure you had opportunities and people reaching out about maybe potentially leaving during the offseason, and you didn't. And you're right here, and you're here with UMass. What is it about Coach Martin that inspires that kind of loyalty from people? Because you hear those stories a lot about him specifically.
I'm gonna start off by saying his loyalty. Coach Martin is a great guy. He gives guys chances that other folks wouldn't give. He puts you in position to not only better yourself as a basketball player, but as a young man. And that's what I'm looking for and was looking for in the coach. And I found that coming out of high school. And you don't really find too many loyal guys in this new era of basketball. And I just wanted to be his guy and finish strong with my guy.
No, it's crazy. I mean, there are people that really like Frank, and you're one of them. You're one of the few, the proud.
I love Coach Frank.
I mean, you were with him South Carolina, then you go with him, you stay with him. Frank, what's this guy been about, and what have you challenged him in the offseason? You know him as well as anybody. What have you challenged him this year that maybe he didn't give you a year ago even?
He was the one guy on our team last year, which was funny because when he got here, he was. I don't want to speak for him, but that first year in college was like it is for most people, major adjustment, and it didn't go the way that he envisioned it going, or his family wanted it to go for him. And he got here and he had to adjust. And then last year, early in the year, was kind of helter-skelter because we had a bunch of guys that just weren't getting along. And he was the one guy that was trying to hold guys together and was willing to speak up for the sanity of the locker room and to give us the ability to get to the next play and the next day to try and win a game. And through that, as he was trying to grow as a player now, because he had finally, found peace and harmony, so he can kind of go forward. He embraced that responsibility, and Jeff, as bad as the end was for us last year, internally, on Super Bowl Sunday, we were in sole possession of fourth place in the A-10, and we couldn't finish. We just couldn't finish the deal. We fell apart, and that was on me. He tried everything he could, and and he speaks about my loyalty. That's why he's sitting next to me, and that's why he's grown as much as he has, because he's loyal as heck can be too. I'll never forget when he called to tell Brian Steele, my assistant, and me, hey man, I'm going to stay at South Carolina and honor my commitment. It was like he's embarrassed to tell me that he wanted to stay close to home to be around his family. It's but it's he's got a great family, very supportive, and like every other college athlete, the beginning's always a bumpy road, and very few guys come into college and it's smooth sailing. But the ones that stay the course and embrace the good and the bad and just stay grounded, they grow and they become really good players, and that's what Dan's become. And I'm excited for what he can do his senior year here.
All right, Daniel, you want to have some fun here? You want to see some Frank photos?
No. I know what fun with you. No.
All right, let's start to roll some Frank. Can we start, Dagan, our producer, with some? I'm gonna give you your just due here. Some photos of young Frank, young debonair Frank. Look at Francisco. Look at this with hair. I mean, you were a good-looking dude. What happened? Look at this. I mean, wow, the chain, the hair. Look at that one.
There.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my senior year picture. That's my senior year picture right there.
That was
How about what kind of jeans I got on? Hey Jeff, what kind of jeans I got on since
Tough Skins. Tough Skins.
Come on. Those are Sioux. Do you remember those?
No, I couldn't afford those, Frank. All right, now we got some other ones. This is a different batch here.
That's Halloween.
Right, we got a different batch. This is Halloween Frank. Halloween Frank coming up. Look at that one. I love it.
I don't know if you noticed.
I
don't know if you noticed the two pictures. Like, that's me, like in acting mode. When I was going to be whoever that character was, the guy from the pyramids, I was in shape. I'm going to be Fred Flintstone. I had to gain weight and get fat. So it's like, that's the actor.
Look at this. This is great. What's this, Frank?
Who the heck knows, man? I just put on what my wife and kids want me to wear, man. I got no idea.
Look at this towel. Hey, Daniel, tell me you've seen that face before, have you not?
Oh, I saw the face, not the fit.
Wow. Oh my God.
That's phenomenal. The pictures of young Frank, though, Daniel, you got to admit, like, the dude looked good. He looked good.
Hey,
I've gone from a linebacker to a left tackle. That's you
were like a DB. You were like a big DB out there. You're like Chuck Cecil.
Now, linebacker, I like contact, man. Get me close to the line of scrimmage. Let me go hit somebody. That's
All right, Frank, I got one more for you, okay? And I hope you take this as a compliment. You're the only coach on all these media days that I'm asking this question to, because I'm genuinely curious what your response is going to be. I'm coaching my son's 10U travel team. We have our first practice tonight. Give me any and all advice you got.
Include all the kids. Don't just coach your best player. Whether it's your son or some kid down the road that you were able to recruit to give your kid's team a chance to be good. Coach them all. Teach them how to move. Biggest mistake we make at that age is that we play the game to win the game. But then what's that mean? Is that kids have to learn how to win and lose. That's part of the journey. But when the ball is just in your best player's hands 90% of the time, that's not how college basketball's played. That's not how winning teams play. And you can go all the way through the end, and The ball, Michael Jordan, you can argue best, not best, Kobe, whatever, argue whatever you want there. Bottom line, ball isn't in those guys' hands. Steph Curry, it's not in their hands 90% of the time. Ball's got to move, players got to move. That's how the game's played, and do that as best you can. And guys, I'm saying this on a serious note. Give him some love, man. He's put himself in a place where he's got a real good chance to be an all-league player. We've had an all-league player every year I've been at UMass. I hope it continues this year. And Dan's the next guy. And the guys that have made all-league have been guys that had rode with me, that stayed with me, which is the way the sport used to be. I'm not saying it needs to be like that again. I will share this, and this is serious, and I can't let it go. Two things. This league is that I don't know. I know why the metrics don't look good. I'm not going to put private business out publicly, but the top 6, 7 in this league, they can go win the Atlantic 10 championship. The coaches in this league are really good. You got Stan Heath and keep going. Keep going to the guys in the league. And then the second part to the whole thing is I hope that 5 years from now, all of us of how college athletics needed to change, whatever opinions we had, and now it's completely on its head. I'm not saying it's on its head in the wrong way. It's on its head compared to the way it used to be. I hope we don't look back and say, man, we failed, because we got so many kids that transfer 4, 5, 6 times. They got no college home and they got no college degree. And I hope we look back and say we failed young people because of our inability to be adults in the room and manage this the right way.
Well said, Frank. Well said. Love you, man. Miss you. Dan, make sure you keep track of where that dirt bike is. All right. Stop losing the dirt bike. All right. And Frank, stop. End the fight with American Airlines. End the fight. You're not going to win that battle. American Airlines, I know they took the luggage over you. We know why. All right. Great seeing you guys. I'm not even going to let Frank get a retort in. What do you got?
Cumberland Farms. When's the last time you had a Cumberland Farm?
What is that, 49 cents? 49-cent Cumberland Farms coffee. That's what it's going to be for Frank Martin.
Poor Rob Senderhoff is just sitting here listening to this like, what am I doing on Mac Media Day right now? Frank, Dan, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season.
Oh, man, I love that guy. Love that
All
guy.
right, bring in Rob Goodman. Come on. It's your hosting duties now. Let's go.
All right, next up. All right, we got to get Rob Senderoff, Kent State head coach, and Delreco Gillespie coming on next. And we'll hear from them here in a minute. And I got a good photo of Rob, too. I got a good photo, just one, I think. But I got some dirt on Senderoff that we'll finish the interview with. The people, I'll tell you what, we've never had a top 4 coaches like we've had in the Mac Media Day. Am I wrong, Rob? Have we ever had a top 4 that have been as entertaining, as fun? They've been in it a long time, combined all of them. But they're all like ball coaches that are kind of old school that are trying to navigate this new world of college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, look, and they're entertaining human beings, and that's the main part. That's why I love doing these, right? Yeah. It's great to be able to talk to the coaches, and it's great to be able to learn about some of these teams, but it's also just fun, man. Like the mid-major ones of these that we have done, the mid-major shows have always been just super entertaining because it feels like these guys are, I don't know why they're excited to see you, but sometimes it feels like they're excited to see you. So it's
because they don't know what's coming. They have no idea what's coming.
You think they would learn by now, right? You think they would have figured it out.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's absolutely a blast. And I can't wait to see what Frank can do in the MAC. Obviously people are expecting him, go into the MAC from the A10, you're going to win the MAC. Like he said, it's not going to be easy.
Bring in Rob, Jeff. Bring in Rob.
All right, let's bring him in now. Kent State head coach Rob Senderoff and Delreco Gillespie. Good to see you, Rob.
We call him Rico. Jeff.
All right, Rico. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry, Rico. My bad,
Yep.
man. First of all, congrats on the 6-year extension, Rob. Second of all, this is your 15th year at Kent State. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
Yeah, it is.
That sounds crazy to me.
It's awesome. I'm happy to be doing this as long as I have been, and at a great place, and being with great players and around great people all the time. So really fortunate. So yeah, absolutely. Long time. We've been doing this a long time, Jeff, right?
Yeah. I mean, coming off another really good season, 24 wins, went to the NIT, 2023, you go to the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to throw it to Rico first. Rico, why can you guys get back to the NCAA tournament this year?
I just feel like Coach went out and got the right type of guys to go that far and buy in. So that's why I feel like we can really get back.
Hey, Rob.
Coach.
Rob, what is it about Rico that has you thinking he can be, maybe the best player in this league? What did you what did you challenge him with this past offseason?
Yeah, I tell him, and sometimes it bothers him when I say it, but he has a superpower, like Superman and Batman, and it is his motor. And when he doesn't allow the kryptonite to get in the way, he can be the best player, not just in the league, but amongst the best players in the country. He's one of the leading returning rebounders in the country. To me, there's no reason why he shouldn't be a guy who averages, a double-double this coming year. And when he's playing to his strengths as a player, he is as good as anyone out there, period, because there's very few people that have the motor that Rico has. So, that's not just a great attribute as a player. It's unique. There's just not many guys out there in the country that can play as hard and run as fast and be as active as he has been and has shown. And if you look at the last 15 games of the season, when I got smarter as a coach and played him more, he averaged 11 rebounds a game during the last 15 games of last year, with each game being a big game. So if he can do that all season long, he can have a special year, and we can have a special year.
Rob, last season you guys had 3 players get honored with postseason recognitions, and Von Cameron, Jalen, and Clyron, right? You had 6 players depart that all averaged more than 10 minutes per game or a part of your rotation, and every single one of them graduated. The other 4 guys in that 10-man rotation are all back on campus. I guess, one, for you, Rob, that's not normal in this era of college basketball to be able to have that kind of continuity. So I'm curious how you're able to manifest that in Rico when he's done. I want to know why, from the player's perspective, there's that kind of loyalty to this program and to this coach.
Yeah, and those guys, when you mentioned the all conference players that returned and who have graduated, they were all returners also. Von Cameron Davis was a 5-year player. He was the only preseason all-conference player, first-team all-conference player that was also postseason first-team all-conference player. And that's a challenge. First time Rico's hearing that, but all other 4 preseason all-conference players did not become all-conference players at the end of the year. Vaughn was the only one. Jalen, Clyron, they were also here 4 years. And now this is Rico's 4th year here at Kent too. I think it speaks to the program and it speaks to, our commitment to our players, how guys get better and want to see them. I heard Frank at the end of his Coach Martin at the end of, his conversation with you guys talk about his player growing and developing. And to me, again, I look at Rico and I see some of the other guys that are on the all conference list, and it's the same thing. It does take a process. Rico was on our NCAA tournament team, played sparingly. His sophomore year, which was his next year, he was just starting to get going and he got hurt. And then last year, the back end of last year was he was as good as any front court player in the league. And now this year he's a preseason all-conference player who a lot is expected. I told him one day after practice, like, for most players, it was a pretty decent day. For you, it's not. And we have high expectations for him, and he has a lot on his shoulders to help lead the new guys. We brought in a lot of freshmen and the returners that all have a piece of this.
So one new guy that you know a lot about, Rico, is Rob Whaley Jr., your cousin, who we had a blast with last year. Rob and I were out. We did Mountain West Media Day, and he was out there for UNLV. He is a riot, like so much fun to be around. Obviously, you know him well. I'm assuming you could go on and on about him forever. But what's it like to have him as your teammate? And I know he's gotten in better shape. He was hurt last year. Where's he at health-wise? Because you would have a better idea than even Sendy here.
Yeah, Big Rob, he's coming along. He's gradually getting better, getting that weight down off of him. But yeah, Rob is a great player, big physical guy. We guard each other. Well, coach put us on different teams every day at practice, so we're going against each other. And yeah, Rob. So Rob is really, like, he's getting better. We're competing against each other, and like, you don't really see like first cousins playing college basketball together. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to play alongside my cousin and hopefully win the MAC championship with him.
Who's one of those battles right now, Rico?
I would say, man, we go at it, man. We go at it. Like every day is like his day, or it's my day. So I say we go at it. We go at it. So
is that Rob? That feels like it's something that's intentional for you guys, right? Where it's what, these two cousins, they're going to go to war in practice, so that's going to set the tone for the rest of this team.
Yeah, I had a couple years ago. One of my point guards, Sincere Carey, his brother was on the team. And it was the same deal, because I know, sometimes these guys, you're going to get physical in the post, but they're family. So it can only get to, at some point, it's going to be, they're going to get through it and not take anything personal. So it's good for practice. It's good for both of them to compete against each other. And Reek said this, like, Rob, along with a number of the other guys that we brought in, have a chance to really have a big impact here as we move forward throughout the season.
Hey, Rico, do you know that Coach Senderoff sells himself as a huge grill guy, like a master of the grill? Did you know that?
Yeah, he pretty much be on the grill on every visit and event we do. So I usually mess with him like, Coach, I see you over here on the grill, like throwing down. So yeah, I kind of figured, yeah.
As he told you the story from years ago, when he burned the hardwood floor and almost burnt the house down. Did he tell you that story?
I heard that one yet.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, the kid that was on the visit is going to be on this show later. He's at Toledo, so we lost the recruit. It was on his official visit, and I was cooking, and I almost burned my house down. But prior to all these guys getting to the house, the smoke alarm went off. The whole deal. I'll blame that for why he went to the other school.
Hey, Dauster, I got a good scouting report on Sendy from his wife Lauren in a group chat with Gino Ford. Gino Ford, I mean, they're one of Rob's best friends in the business. We know Stony Brook head coach, and Lauren gave me a little bit of a scouting report on you. She said you are not handy at all.
No,
but she said you're great with your daughters and your dogs, so that's good to hear. A soft spot. You will never catch him mowing the lawn ever. And my favorite, she reminded me, and I think we showed this last year, but I'm not sure, of our favorite picture of you, Rob, from back in the day, from the Halloween, the Hoopin' Halloween event. This is an elite picture. Rico, I assume you've seen this, but I'm not sure. Dagan, roll the picture of Rob. Oh, he doesn't have it. All right, he doesn't have a picture of the Halloween.
I got off the hook.
You got off the hook with this.
Yeah,
Rico, I'll send it to you so you can see it. But Rob, give me quickly here somebody that we haven't talked about yet that has had a really good summer. We've talked about Rico and Rob Whaley here for a little bit. Somebody else that's going to be a major impact player that maybe Kent State fans don't know about yet.
Well, we got a couple of them, but another returner who I think's really stepped up would be Sion Medley at the point guard spot. Right now our team is a little short on guards. One of the players that did return, Jamal Sumlin, he got hurt prior to the season and is out for the year. So he was a guy we were really relying on as a combo guard who could handle some of the point guard duties as well. But without him, Sion has a lot on his shoulders as a returner. And he's done a really good job here in the preseason, trying to be a leader, understanding again from that position, scoring isn't what you're judged on. Winning is what you're judged on when you're a point guard. And he played, high school basketball at Camden High School for an elite high school program with a ton of, future NBA, great players, that he was the leader of that team. And, now he's being asked even more so than last year, because last year he was a new guy coming in as a transfer. But this year, being a returner, he has a lot on his shoulders, and point guard play is so important in college basketball. You really only go as far as your point guards can take you. And, there's a lot on his plate, and he's a returner that's done a lot. And then we've had a lot of new guys. We actually have freshmen that, we have not had a ton of freshmen impact us as freshmen, but this year I think we have a few that are going to really help us game after game, and going to be counted on game after game to help us.
Yep. Well, Rob, Rico, appreciate you guys being on. Thank you for being here, and best of luck this season.
All right.
Appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah. Glad we didn't have that photo too.
We're going to keep this thing rolling along. Coming up next, we have Western Michigan, Dwayne Stevens, and Max Burton, his veteran big man, will be joining us here in just a second. And they're here. All right, let's bring them in. We got Dwayne Stevens and Max Burton. Gentlemen, what is going on? I apologize for you having to listen to Goodman sit there and rant and rave for a couple of extra minutes there. He loves being late. He's never on time, Dwayne. Let me ask you this. If one of your players showed up as late as Goodman has been late right now, what kind of drills are we doing? What kind of conditioning are we doing?
We may do a little running, but fortunately for us, we haven't had that issue. So I guess my guys are a little more responsible than Jeff.
Hopefully you got a barrel.
Easy to do. I hope
Hopefully
so.
you got a barrel over there for me, Dwayne, because I might need it after running. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm everything's going good, man. We're working, and I think we're like a lot of other teams where we're just ready to play someone else, and kind of see where we're at. I think everyone, when I talk to coaches around the country, some of my friends, everyone's kind of filling themselves out and wondering, where they are. And I think we're no different. We're sick of beating on one another, and we want to get in there and get after somebody else other than ourselves.
Max, it's year 3 for you as a player. Then I believe it's year 4 in the program at Western Michigan. It's not often that you see guys spend a career and spend that much time at one place. What is it about this program that has you wanting to be there? Why are you still at Western Michigan right now?
Man, that's an easy one. I mean, this is home for me. I've been here, all 4 years, and I couldn't really see myself at a different place.
Yeah, DJ, in terms of, again, all these coaches, like you said, you don't know what you have yet, right? You bring in all these guys, and you brought in a bunch of guys through the portal we'll talk about in a minute. But, how good does it feel to have this guy next to you that, again, knows you, knows your program, has been productive, can lead, and you know what you're going to get out of him pretty much every game from an effort standpoint. I mean, this is a guy that Izzo, one of your proteges, would be proud of, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I think whenever you can retain guys that understand how you want to do things and what it should look like on a day in, day out basis, it's definitely a bonus. Listening to Cindy there for a second, and hearing him kind of rave about his guys that he was able to return. I think it benefits the player, but for sure it benefits our programs, and we're no different. And having Max here is like a warm, fuzzy blanket. You're comfortable. You know what you're going to get from him. I don't know if he likes being described as that, but I'm sure I've called him much worse. So it's but it is a pleasure to have him back, and like you said, what you're getting, and he's been really good for us.
Hey, wait, Max. So if he describes you as a warm, fuzzy blanket, what would you describe Coach Stevens as?
Oh, man.
I don't think I can say it on camera.
Good answer. Good answer.
An asshole.
There you go. All right.
Only part of the time. Only part of the time.
Yeah. Max, you guys got 4 transfers coming in. I'm going to try to get this thing back on the rails for us, guys. You got 4 transfers coming into the program: Justice Williams, Jaden Brewer, Trey Lewis, Declan Peterson. Who's kind of take me through those guys and who's impressed you in kind of getting to know them and getting to know this program?
Man, I mean, starting off with Jay Brew from FIU. I mean, he's uber athletic. I mean, one of the best athletes that I've ever played with. We're just going to keep pushing him to be better each day, never be satisfied with him. Trey, veteran guy, 4th-year guy from Purdue Fort Wayne, can score the ball at a high clip. We're just trying to push him to be a better leader each day as well. Declan is just solid. You know what you're going to get out of Declan every single day. I mean, this is a guy who he's never going to complain. He's never going to back down from a challenge, and he's going to be really, really solid for us. Who else we got? We got Justice. I mean, Justice is he's a great guy. I mean, I have nothing but positive things to say about Justice as well. He's going to be a really huge addition for us.
Hey, Dwayne, go through kind of the point guard spot, because obviously you lost Willis to the portal in the offseason. Kind of where does that stand? Is there a competition between that spot? And, kind of what are you thinking going into this season?
Yeah, so EJ Ryans, who backed Chauncey up last year, has done a really good job over the summer, and as we moved into our workouts this fall, he's been as steady as day is long, and he's improved his shooting. He's a kid that tries to lead and do the right things every day. We were able to go into the portal and get Jalen Griffith, junior college transfer, and he's from Chicago, Simeon, and so he has a really good pedigree, competitive, and he's a little small, but man, he's a tough kid, and he can really score the ball. So we feel pretty good about where we're at in the point guard spot, and then Sherrod Barnes, one of our freshmen, played at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, really great program in our state. He's played in a lot of big games, super competitive, and that kid may be one of my better defenders. So we feel really comfortable with where we're at point guard wise.
I want both you guys to answer this. If we look up in late February and Western Michigan's right there, first place, competing for first place in a race for a MAC regular season championship. What's the most important thing that has to happen? Max, I want your answer, and then DJ, I want to hear you after him.
I think it's got to start from our staples. We say it every single day: defend, rebound, run. If we can rebound at the level that we have been the past few years, as well as improving our defense every day and becoming one of those top defensive MAC teams as well, I think there's no doubt in our minds that we can be at that top.
Yeah, I think for me, for me, it would be the same things. I think he does listen to me after hearing that answer. It's been kind of one of the staples that I've grown up on in the business. It was no different at Marquette. It was no different at Michigan State, and now we're just trying to do some of the similar things here at Western.
All right, I'm going to send you out with this one, Dwayne, and it's not an easy one. Three coaches that have kind of been your mentors that you've worked for, as I mentioned, Izzo, Tom Crean, Greg Kampe. Rank them in terms of craziest to least crazy. Those three. Start with the craziest of those three. Is who?
So he's putting me on the spot here, and I don't know who's going to see this, and I'll hear from all three of those guys. So I'm not going to say crazy. I'm going to go with the word passionate. So the most passionate would probably be Greg Kampe. Kampe can be extremely passionate on the sidelines, and then from there I would go with Crean. Crean was, when I was with him, he was a young up-and-coming coach and really hadn't proven himself in terms of what people think of him now and where they see him. But Crean was very passionate as well, and had the ability to push his guys and get the most out of them. And obviously the things that Coach Izzo has done kind of speak for themselves. But I would rank those guys in that manner.
That's the only time ever. Izzo's going to be upset with you, by the way, for being third on the list of most passionate. You're going to get a call from Izzo. My guess is within a half an hour of this.
No, he's Coach is. I think he's mellowing out a little bit as he gets older and a little further along in the business. See, I wasn't there for those first few years, but I hear he was pretty passionate back then.
Yes,
he was. Listen, Dwayne, it's great to see you, man. Max, best of luck this season, and I hope that Coach keeps enjoying that warm, fuzzy blanket that you get with your fourth year center. So, best of luck this season, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
You got it.
It's the first
This is the league. Hey, Rob, this is the league that just keeps delivering. I mean, that's all I can say about the MAC. Like, honestly, I love it.
Well, coming up next, we'll see. I know if I know you got something good for Bowling Green's Todd Simon and Javante Campbell coming in. Javante Campbell is a first-team preseason All-MAC. Javante, it doesn't mean nothing yet. You got to prove it. You got to earn it. You got to go earn that first-team stripe for the postseason. So let me ask you this, Javante. What are we going to see from you this year where this step forward? Where is that improvement going to come from?
Definitely being a leader, helping out the team, being more physical on defense, offense, and just being more an all-around player.
All right, so Javante, I'm not a coach, but here's my advice. I think you can get a lot better if you stop breaking your hands.
I agree.
That would help.
We worked on that.
So, you explain what I'm saying is you broke each of your hands last season during the season. I believe you played through each broken hand, right? How did you do it? How much did it hurt? And have you ever heard of? I've never heard of anything like this happening before.
Never.
Well, I mean, it hurt for I'll say about 8 games, but after that, I just started getting used to it. And once I got used to that one, unfortunately, my other hand broke. But that was my left hand, so I mean, I had a bit more wiggle room with that one.
I don't mean to laugh, man, but that is you might be the toughest player in college basketball if you could play through 2 broken hands.
Hey, Todd,
I second that.
Todd, first of all, congrats on your Lions last night. Another win.
Yes.
I'm on the wagon. If there's room for me, I'm on the wagon. I know you've had a lot of tough years with your Lions and other Detroit teams. Number 2, Rob just kind of, talked about Javante's toughness and everything like that, the injuries he went through. Have you ever been through anything in all your years of coaching at every level, injury-wise, like you went through a year ago with your team?
No, really, we didn't. I haven't. I mean, you were talking about, looking through my notes as we're trying to get ready in October. It was already back in October where we had 3-on-3 going on in October when we're trying to do installs. And as we got going through the year, Javante was on game mode only. don't touch a basketball until the game started. And Jemai, our 5-man, was coming off 2 ACLs, was kind of in the same boat. So we had, 7, 8 guys. We were suiting up guys that had season-ending surgeries at the end of the year, but we had to look the part and said, hey, we might be pulling case of emergency. We're suiting up managers and all kinds of crazy stuff. I'd never been a part of anything quite to this degree. And we had sat down and talked about contingencies of if we don't have enough players, what happens.
Like COVID. Like the COVID year.
Yeah, it really was. Like, what's the protocol on this? And so it was wild. It was a wild year for sure.
When you go back and look at it, Todd, because I think last year you guys, the formula for how to build a roster was built the right way. And I think that you had a team that, if you had not dealt with those injuries, was probably good enough to compete at the top of the MAC. And it kind of blows up in your face when you look back on it, and no fault of your own. It's just injuries happen. When you look back on it now, like, does the mindset change trying to build a roster, or is it just like, look, we got to keep plugging away. We got the formula right. We got the system right. We just, maybe got to get a little bit luckier with the health part of it.
It's funny. I've talked to a bunch of mentors, different coaches, and say, hey, what do you do with injuries, this sort of thing? I ran to Coach Izzo on the road, and I said, hey, I got a question for you. I need to pick your brain. He said, he didn't let me finish. He goes, I already know what you're going to say. Nothing that you can do. You got to stay the course. There's a large degree of luck to this situations, and so it was like it was kind of reaffirming to hear from folks that have done it and won at a high level. Kind of say, no, you just stay the course. These things happen, and trust your system, trust your blueprint, and do the best you can with it. So we kind of doubled down on maybe a little bit more depth, a few more walk-ons so that we can practice and do all those type of things. But all in all, we're pretty firm believers in what we're doing.
All right, Javonte, I got a little before I hit you with a real question. I want to ask you, you're from where? What town in Oklahoma are you from?
Muskogee, Oklahoma.
All right. Actually, I should ask Todd this, and then I'm going to ask you this. Give me what Muskogee, Oklahoma is known for, Todd. It's known for 2 things. One, a person, and one, something else that people eat. What's it known for?
Wow. I did not do my homework on Muskogee. Use ChatGPT right now.
No, you can't.
I don't have a good one.
Javonte, you better be able to answer at least one of these. Wow. All right, we'll start with the person from Muskogee. It's Carrie Underwood, the singer. Number 2,
really?
The thing you eat, it's the birthplace of Girl Scout cookies. Did you know that? How about that?
Wow.
I did it.
All right, now the real question. What are we going to see differently out of you, other than the fact that you're healthy now, Javonte? What are we? Because you had a hell of a year with being injured last season. You had your first triple double in program history since I think 2007. Again, averaged almost 50 in a game, 3 assists in 30 minutes. What are we going to see that's different about you this year?
Definitely seeing the court better, being a better point guard, and also shooting.
All right, Todd, you got 4 transfers coming in. Javon Ruffin, Justin Thomas, Josiah Shackelford, and Troy Glover from Division I programs. Aiden Goins and Jason Kimbrough from the JUCO ranks. Talk to me about some of these guys and maybe who can Bowling Green fans be excited about seeing this season?
Yeah, I mean, we really we love all these guys. They've all met expectations. Meyer Woll as well. We added him in August from Eastern Kentucky and to that group. And so you kind of have some known commodities and Justin Thomas and Ruff. Those guys played 20 plus minutes in power conferences. So you kind of know what they're about. We love our D2 guys, Troy Glover, Josiah Shackelford. Those guys, are certainly high-level players. They've stepped up, and they're going to be fantastic. And our two junior college guys, they've exceeded expectations. They're going to be ready, and they're passionate and play hard to fit what we're trying to do. And Myra Wool was Sixth Man of the Year in his league. So you start kind of piling up a nice collection of pieces that complement each other. And I think we really went in on basketball IQ and guys that play the right way and not just one trick ponies. They're really, really committed to doing winning plays. So I'm excited about that for this group.
Hey, Rob, we've got a record, though, with Justin Thomas. I think this is the record, Todd. Freshman year, Queens University. Sophomore year, Navarro College. Junior year, Milwaukee. Senior year, UTSA. Didn't play, so got that year back. Last year, Florida State, and now at Bowling Green. 6 spots in 6 years. This is what college basketball is about right now, Todd, to some degree. I know we're both kind of shaking our heads, smiling, being like, what happened? When you hear that, what do you think, though? Like, my biggest worry is, like, is he going to get his degree? That's my biggest worry with these kids bouncing around. And I'm not making this something against Justin Thomas at all. This is the landscape that we're in these days.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's graduated, and already, that's the other tricky part of it is we've got three graduates, guys that are already beyond getting their degree. One's working on masters, a couple more are working on additional undergrad degrees and so that sort of thing. So it's just a different world, but at the same token, I like it. I like getting guys from different backgrounds. They could share different experiences, and it reminds me a lot. I said college basketball has gone back. Jeff, we go back to those prep school days. This is prep school. We're kind of back to rebuilding rosters every year, and guys kind of bounce around and that sort of thing. I'm just kind of back to those Finley prep days, and rosters are always going to be. You've got to have something of substance that people want to be a part of. Because guys can up and go and move and have the freedom to do so, and I don't think it's all bad.
Yep. All right, last thing I got for you guys, and then we'll get you out of here. I want you both to answer. Javonte, you go first. What is the one thing that has to happen this year, other than staying healthy, for us to look up in February, and Bowling Green is right there competing with the other teams at the top of the MAC for a MAC regular season championship?
I'll say we just have to stay the course, and do what Bowling Green basketball does. It's just been doing since Todd's been here. And I'll say just being coachable and also being player coachable first. Like, coach can't say it first. He got to be one of the players.
Todd?
Yeah, I think particularly the mental toughness piece of the grind. I think that's the separator between the champions and the contenders is the mental toughness, for 31 games plus a tournament and doing the right things for 100 practices in that process. So I think it's that mental toughness to keep doing the right things, even when the ups and the high, and not just the lows, but when things are going well, is you handling success.
All right. For the next 10 days, Javonte, can we have him wear gloves around campus just so his hands are
Of course.
All right, stay healthy, guys. Best of luck this season, and go get a big win so we can get you back on the field of 68 after dark. Todd, always a pleasure to see you. Javonte, best of luck this season, man.
Great seeing you guys.
Thank
you. Yep, thanks for having us.
Thanks, fellas. MAC Media Day rolls on here. Coming up next, we have Buffalo and one of my Philly guys, George Halkovich and Angelo Brizzi, who was they are here. Angelo played for George at Villanova when George was still an assistant at Villanova. George, what's going on, man? It's great to see you. Birds are back, baby. 5-2. Big win over the weekend, right?
I mean, now that Red October is no more for us, the Birds are back. Thank God. It broke my heart. Our Phillies broke my heart. You know that, Rob. But the Birds are back, 5-2. Everything's good in Philly, and everything's great in Buffalo because I got this guy right here.
Yeah, Angelo, you're a Virginia guy. Am I guessing that maybe you like a different team from the NFC East? Would that be a fair assumption?
I'm actually a Saints fan, so NFC South.
Oh boy, what
Rob,
happened there?
I went to my first Bills game. It was against the Saints. I looked across and I zoomed in with my phone. It's Brizzy in a Saints jersey up here. I'm like, yo, man, that's not a way to start off your career at Buffalo.
It's rough, man. It's a rough start. Come on. You're trying to build the fan base, Angelo. What are we doing?
I'm getting there slowly.
He's confident. I'll tell you that. He ain't afraid to take that shot.
Hey, George, what does bringing in a guy like Angelo mean for you? Because again, you're trying to build this thing, get it back, and obviously you got a guy here who's been through the fire. Obviously started Villanova, so you know him well. But to bring him in, he's been a little well-traveled. Hopefully he finds a home this year in Buffalo and can kind of do what I think we all thought he was going to do coming out of high school.
Yeah, no doubt, Jeff. It's unique because for us, we have a guy in this day and age where you might have a guy that goes to 3-4 schools, but I have great, I have a great history with him with a year and a half together at Villanova. So we didn't have to learn each other. So I got an old, experienced guy that I believe has kind of gone through the fire, like you've mentioned, and figured himself out over the years. And now we're just together at the perfect time. So I think he's ready for that responsibility. He's had a great preseason going into the season starting here. And I'm really excited for him to do big things this year for us at Buffalo.
George, I wanted to ask you about Daniel Freitag. He's a guy that was a 4-star, top 100-ish kind of guy, and was, I believe it was Wisconsin, and it couldn't crack the rotation. It was a little bit of a rough year for him, and you were able to get him as a sophomore. What have you seen from him this summer and the fall? What can we expect to see out of him in the Buffalo program this season?
Yeah, I think, Daniel is a prototypical, like Angelo, kind of guard that I'm used to coaching. Physical body, can play both ends of the ball. A guy that you can mix up doing different things with, whether it's being them playing on the perimeter, but also, as you know, we like to post our guards, and that's something I've been, wanting to get to here at Buffalo. But in order to do that, you need to have guys that are physically ready in terms of their bodies and able to do that. And now that we have Daniel here with Angelo, we have two guys that I could interchangeably put in different spots, Rob, that I think are high major players. They were high major recruits, high major players, had successes at quote unquote the higher levels, but I'm looking at them like having them here, we're going to reach the level that we want to be back to here at Buffalo because of that.
So, you bring in those two guys, but I want Angelo to talk about the guy who he's learning, well, who's been back in Ryan, led the team in scoring last year, has a couple of years experience under you. What have you been most impressed with so far watching Ryan Angelo?
Yeah, Ryan's one of my best friends on the team. I live with him, so I've got to spend a lot of time talking with him and learning from him, even though I'm older. And I think the most impressive thing is just he's stone-faced. He's never really phased, and everything he does whatever coach asks him to do, and he does it as hard as he can. So I've just been most impressed by how he conducts himself just day in and day out.
That's a Villanova thing. That's a Villanova thing that George has obviously brought over to Buffalo, because all those damn guys at Villanova had personality. But I'm going to blame it on George now. I was going to blame it on Jay Wright, but I'm going to blame it on you, George. It's your fault that Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, you held them back personality-wise while they were at Villanova.
Yeah, things have really hurt them in their process of life, Jeff. They're not doing well. They're not doing well. But I'll always take the blame, man. I'll always take the blame. It's what comes with the territory.
In all seriousness about that, so Jalen and Josh, I remember, were not the most verbose when they were dealing with media while they were in college. And now they have an actual, really successful and entertaining podcast. If I would have told you back when they were in your program and you were coaching them, that would be where those two ended up in terms of personality and what they were doing, would you have expected, could you have seen college Josh Hart and college Jalen Brunson be podcasters one day?
Yes. I could. They just podcast around each other and kept it. And like Jeff said, we kept everything so insulated. You never really saw it, right? But no, they were. Those guys did have great personalities. I think the uniqueness of them was they were on such a mission that they wanted to, get as much out of the college experience as they could, and then, trusted that if they did that, they'd maximize their ability to go on to the next level. And obviously, they've gotten there and they've blossomed. So I'm not surprised by it. I think the cool thing is that they've just kept. They've never lost who they really are in the process, but they are pretty darn funny, man. I mean, those guys are hysterical, and they had one-liners and punchlines that every day at Villanova that were really good, and I'm sure they could do impressions of everybody from back in the day.
Angelo, again, your career, Villanova, Davidson, now at Buffalo. What's the biggest thing you learned along the way now that maybe you didn't know when you're a freshman or even a sophomore?
It's a good question.
See, Jeff?
That's a great question.
Nice guy, isn't he? Nice guy.
It's up there. He's thinking the same way you told those Villanova guys. Don't answer quickly because you might say something you regret.
I would just say there's great value in stability. I was there when there was a coaching change, a little bit of change at Villanova, and coming here with Coach George, that's pretty stable. I've felt great since I've been here. I knew what I was coming into, and there was no, like you mentioned earlier, no learning process of getting to know each other. We already knew each other from before, and I knew what he expected of me, and I knew the responsibilities that I have coming in, and I've felt stability since I've been here. So I think, stability.
George, you got 4 transfers coming in from outside the Division I ranks. You got a couple D2 kids, you got a couple NAI kids. What are you expecting their impact to be and the adjustment level to be for them? Like you played Division III basketball, right? And I'm convinced that when it comes to skill level, top of D2, top of D3, top of NAIA is not all that different from the MAC level. It's just like your point guard might be 6 foot at the lower levels, and he's going to be 6'3" in the MAC. He might be 6'6" center versus a 6'10" center. What's the adjustment going to be like for those 4 guys that they're coming into your program?
Yeah, I think their role more than anything. They've come from places where they were the marquee guy. I felt like all of them had great careers. Ezra and DJ were both All-Americans at the NAIA level, played 4 years, won a lot of games. And then also, Michael, big-time scorer, high-volume guy at the D2 level. And, the one guy that's coming in, KJ, Kyle Jones, kind of played the role that he's probably been playing right now only because of injury at Stack. He's coming off injury. So I think for them it's going to be the role of just, not maybe being a guy that has to play 30 minutes a game, but can make impact in a great way. And the uniqueness of them, guys, that we were really keen on in this process is, we wanted guys that are going to come with the right character, and these guys all have it, and they've been awesome. I mean, they've all said, hey, whatever the team needs, that's going to be the biggest adjustment for them, though, as the season goes on, of being like, man, I'm probably used to getting 15-10, not 8-4. Can they handle that? And I believe they're going to be able to. So that's going to be the biggest adjustment. And then the game itself is just faster, a little faster, more athletes. I think the biggest thing is the physicality and athleticism. But all those guys in their own right, we were really thorough in that analysis of it, can all handle that. So I feel like even though DJ might be a little small, he was Defensive Player of the Year in his conference coming out of NAIA last year, and all the other guys are physical, like they have Division I physical bodies.
All right, Angelo, I'm gonna finish you with a tough question here. All right, who is the greatest coach to come out of Pottsville, PA?
Oh, here we go.
Pottsville, PA. George Halkovich?
No, don't let Pat Flannery hear that.
I was told by Jay Wright to ask that question, by the way. I was told by Jay to ask that one and see what the answer was. So I figured We let Angelo give a shout out. Pat Flannery is the correct answer. Now,
If
George,
we can get the NCAA tournament and scare the likes of Kansas and whatnot, then maybe I'll have a fighting chance. But right now, Coach Flan's a man, so I love that dude. Played Little League Baseball with my dad. How about that, Jeff?
Did he really?
Little League Baseball team.
Was he nuts on the baseball field too?
What's that?
Was he nuts on the baseball field too?
Yeah, he hit like 3 home runs a game though, apparently too. So you can do anything. If you hit 3 home runs a game, you can be as nuts as you want to be.
Yes, you can.
Yep. All right. Well, George, Angelo, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season. And, hopefully come mid-February, maybe we're going to be celebrating another parade. I got a spot for you. You want to come down here, George? I got a spot for you at when we go down to the parade.
Hopefully, Rob, we're playing so darn well that I'm just stuck here in snow in Buffalo. We're crushing it, me and Briz right here. And then I'll come down and we'll celebrate really well. And
you can go to a parade. Wait. You can go to a parade. You don't have to leave Buffalo to go to the parade this year.
That's a good point, too. I'll take that. One other thing, Jeff, just so you know, I told our team yesterday after practice, guys, I want to see a little more swagger, man. I want us to come in here with a little more pop to us. I want to feel a little energy. So just so you know, we are all growing together here at Buffalo.
Good job. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Best of luck this season, guys. Good to see you.
All right, guys. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
That was George Halkovich and Angelo Brizzi from Buffalo. It rolls on here. Mac Media Day. We got Andy Bronkema, the new head coach at Central Michigan. He's going to be joining us with his point guard and a guy with my favorite name in college basketball this season, Fat Brooks, point guard at Central Michigan.
I should have done the intro here. I should have done the intro because
do it. Go ahead. It's your world now.
Right.
Go ahead. Take it over, Jeff.
Hey,
take it over.
Love the name, Andy. First of all, great to finally meet you. We've texted a couple times here, but congrats on the new gig. Fat, great to meet you as well. And I'm going to introduce you, Fat Brooks. I know we're going to ask you how you got your.
I'm going to
interrupt.
Jeff, I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you.
You're talking to Fat Dauster for a different reason. All right.
This is Tamario Adley. Fat had class, so we sent in the adjustment. I don't know if you guys got it. So
we did not get the late. That was a late change.
Late change, but I guess we're valuing academics here. So you got the other half of the point guard position here with Tamario, and you're stuck with me still.
All right. Well, we're still going to call.
He's still going to call me.
Yeah. Yes. There you go. He's still.
You see what I'm dealing with here, guys? You see what I'm dealing with here?
I mean, it's listen, it's appropriate for all you eat on the road. So anyway, Andy, again, congrats, man. A little bit of a background. You're from Michigan. Previous 12 years at Division II Ferris State. Got hired. You won a national title in 2018. Last year was your 4th straight tourney appearance. Went to Cornerstone University and got your master's at Ferris State. I've tried to learn as much as I could about you over the last couple weeks. Your father, your sister, your great-grandmother and grandmother, all Central Michigan grads. So this has got to mean a lot for the family for you to get this job, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the one job that was really the job that would pull me away from Ferris State. Love Ferris State. Making the big time where you're at. That was our goal there, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. But this is 45 minutes down the street, and a university where my family had a lot of ties, and a lot of people I know went here. My coaches in high school went here, so it's just the local university and a challenge and an opportunity that we're looking forward to.
Tomorrow, you played at Wayne State. Right. And now you're making the jump up to the Division I level at the same time that your coach is now making the jump up to the Division I level. What is the one thing that you're expecting that maybe you're going to have to adjust to? Is it the length? Is it the speed? Is it the athleticism? Where are you kind of preparing yourself to be a guy that was really successful at the Division II level as you get ready to head into the MAC for your senior season?
Honestly, I have to adjust to buying in with my teammates more, because in the past we wasn't as together as we was. So this year we emphasizing team bonding off the court. So getting to know our teammates more off the court and building that chemistry since we all got 15 new players. So we building that chemistry on the court. It can help us during the season.
So Fat couldn't join us. He's in class, which is great, Andy. But former Michigan Mr. Basketball. This is a big get for you. His older brother played for you the last few years at Ferris State. Transfers from Michigan. What's his role going to be this year? What type of impact do you expect him to have?
Well, the biggest thing for us in the recruiting process, building a new team and building it quickly in the middle of April, was just try to find some points of power where we could build a roster where we would have some areas that maybe we could draw on to be successful. So with Fat and Tamario, just big athletic physical point guards. So we're going to have 40 minutes on the floor. They're going to play a lot together. But we're going to have 40 minutes on the floor with guys that can play in the open floor with speed, physicality, and athleticism. And that'll be the role for us. And, the question to Tamario about his adjustments, it won't be the usual adjustments for Tamario specifically because he's a Division I athlete all day. His speed, athleticism, strength have always been at this level, and there's a lot of guys in Division II that are quote unquote buried that have the ability. So he's got that. There won't be much adjustment there. He'll be one of the top athletes and guys with speed and athleticism on the floor most nights. And then with Fat, the same thing. These guys in open court are very dynamic. But Fat, just kind of bringing them back to, definitely a combo guard, but having the ball in his hands as a playmaker and really not forcing the things that maybe most people would think he needs to improve, but really concentrating on the things that he's already great at and putting him in that position. And he's thrived already with us and his time on the floor here, just kind of getting back to who he is and what he does and being confident in it. So looking forward to both those guys on the floor together, but 40 minutes of physical point guards.
And when you have 15 new players like Tamario mentioned coming in, how much of a help is it that 3 of the guys that are new players to the Central Michigan program are guys that played for you at Ferris State? And you have, I believe it's 2 or 3 guys that were also in that same conference that you were in last year. So they have a little bit of familiarity. And you're bringing in Fat, who, he might be a new player for you, but the family, the program. They know what to expect out of you as a coach because you coached his brother, obviously. Is that kind of ease the transition when it comes to getting to know all these new faces?
I mean, it's been a heck of a transition. And I don't think we're alone, though. There's a lot of rosters that are brand new this year, whether they had a couple returning players or the coach has been there a long time. It's just kind of the nature of things. So we're not alone. Certainly having the guys from Ferris State helps out a lot. Just, it might be a drill that they can be first in line and kind of explain things. But most of all, it's helped in them communicating with their teammates to say, hey, this is kind of how coach operates. This is what if I'm not clear, this is what he really means, or this is how it's going to be every day, day in and day out. So kind of knock off some of the surprises. So it's been a luxury to have Nate, Jackson, and JB with us transitioning over here. And, that there's probably a few more guys that could have came along from Ferris, but those are the 3 that came. And, I'm glad to have them and wishing the guys that stayed the best over there at Ferris State. A lot of pride there. 18 years of my life, pretty much my whole adult life over there in Big Rapids. So can't wait to see their success. But great to have those 3 guys with us. And it's huge. It's almost like they are returners.
Yeah, go through with me kind of what you look for in a big, because it looks like to me, again, you want skill bigs that can step out and shoot it. You brought in Nick Mullen from South Bend, who certainly can shoot it. But your bigs also are guys that can protect the rim and really block and alter shots. And both Nate and Nick can do that. Will they play together a lot?
We played them a little bit together here in the preseason, so it's an option. I don't know how much they'll play together. It depends on the team that we play, but they can. They have a skill set. And protecting the rim is something that you're just going to need on every one of your rosters that you build. So that was definitely something we were looking for. Nick was, I think, 6th in the NAIA in block shots, and Nate was number 1 in the GLIAC. So that's a carry tool that will help us. But in general, with bigs, there's different ways to protect the rim. If you're not blocking the shot, maybe you're walling up, or you confront the post really well, or you're a versatile defender and you can defend multiple positions. So not just bigs, but any position you're looking for at least one carry tool that can be something that impacts winning on the floor. So Nate and Nick certainly have those, and their growth has been incredible here in the preseason.
Andy, what is the adjustment for you moving up to the Division I level? Have you talked with any other D2 coaches that have made that leap? Is there anything different to what you do, or is it just kind of our system is our system, our guys are our guys, the way we play is the way we play?
Yeah, it's a little bit like our system is our system. And I think to answer the first part of your question, yeah, I talked to a lot of guys that have made the jump from D2 to D1. I think it helps. And the main theme in all those conversations, you spend 18 years in Division II, and you have a lot of your friends are taking new jobs or new opportunities, and there's been a lot of people that have made the jump. So I stay connected. I'm a connector. I stay connected with those guys, and I talk to them. And the main theme with all the coaches that have had that experience is just to trust your gut, to trust your eye, and don't change.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the basketball part, Andy. I want to know a little bit more about you. And I know I have one daughter. I have one daughter. She's going to be hosting the MAC women's portion of this after we're done. You have 3 daughters. And my one daughter, there's no shortage of drama, okay? She's 22. You've got a 15, a 14, and a 9-year-old, right? Eliana, Cambria, and Seneca. Give me the coolest part of being the father of 3 girls.
I think the coolest part is just the balance that you get when you're around, the fellas all day. You're around guys all day, and then you get to go home and you have that life balance. And the coolest part is just, chasing their passions with them. So the things that they're into, supporting those things and being a part of it, and seeing them grow. So that's definitely the coolest thing, but it balances me out. And I don't want to say it makes me softer because my girls are pretty tough. But
it will.
Yeah, it will a little bit, but it keeps you busy too. And it really, at this stage in the game, it focuses you in on, basketball, family, relationships, and it really motivates you to say no to a lot of positive things, because you can say yes to your team, you can say yes to your daughters, and you just carve out the intentional time with your family. So something I'm really passionate about, something that is part of the daily schedule. What are the girls into today, this week, what's coming up, and just being involved. So it's something I really love to do.
All right, Tamario, I can end it for you with this. Give me 1 or 2 guys on this team that you have been really impressed by. Like who should Central Michigan fans be excited about being able to watch this season?
I'll say Logan. He's a sniper from 3. Like it's exciting seeing somebody who can shoot the ball as good as he can shoot it. And I also say Fat, because that's like my back end. Like I'm teaching him certain things. He's teaching me things because he's seen stuff I haven't seen. He's uplifting me. He's bringing a different type of skill set that I don't have in certain areas, and he just helping me with a lot of things. But yeah, I'm
How many assists per game are you gonna get just by setting up Logan? He shot 47% from 3 last year. Have you figured that out yet? 2, 3, 4? What is it?
I want 6 of them. I'm gonna go for 6.
There you go. Andy, Tamario, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season. We're going to be rooting for you here. Go pick off a big win so we can get you back on the field of 68, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck this season. That was Central Michigan, Andy Brunkhem and Tamario Adley. We're going to have another directional Michigan coming on here now. We have Eastern Michigan with head coach Stan Heath and Mac Mansell, a transfer from Detroit Mercy, jumping on here with us on Mac Media Day here on the field of 68. There you go. You see him. Stan, Mac, what's going on, gentlemen? How are we doing, guys?
Morning. How you guys doing?
What's up, guys? How are you? Hey, Max, can you guess the age of the guy next to you right now?
Ooh, that's a crazy question to start.
I know, but he hit a big number. He hit a big number fairly recently.
A little bit. I'm assuming, 56?
That's not a big number. Max, 56 is not a big number. What's a big number?
I was hoping you were going like 48 or something. You didn't want to give me 48?
I mean, I'm just trying to, what I'm saying, do a little math or something.
The big 6-0. He hit the big 6-0 recently, but he looks great. He honestly hasn't aged since I've known. A little bit of gray down here, but other than that, he hasn't aged, and he hasn't really matured much since I've known him either.
The eyes aren't as good, though. I will tell you that.
Oh, listen, I will tell you this. I should be wearing these. I should. But my daughter tells me, and my wife both tell me I age about 10 years, and I already look old without them. So I'm going to take them off and deal with it. I'm going to take them off.
I heard you got 3 daughters and a wife. You're in trouble, buddy. I mean, you got no say in life. Nothing.
No, I only got one. That was Andy. Andy's got 3 daughters. Andy's got one was enough for me. When Talia when Talia didn't sleep for the first 3 years, that was it. I was done at one.
Hey, Mac, do me a favor. Let Goodman know he can put the glasses back on, because at this point, there's really no difference between looking 74 and looking 84. So you might as well just wear the glasses and allow yourself to be able to see.
I like this show already, man.
All right, let's get this back on the rails. I'll get this back on the rails. I did a little bit of digging, okay? And I don't know if you guys remember this, but Mac, your dad played at Central Michigan, correct? And he played in the early 2000s. Did you know that he played against Coach Heath in the 2001-2002 season?
No way.
I did not know that.
Yes, your dad played against, and that was the year that Coach Heath had Antonio Gates and Kent State and made it to the Elite Eight. Are you old enough to remember who Antonio Gates is as a basketball player, or do you only think of him as the guy on the Chargers?
Of course.
You know what's
so
crazy?
Your dad played against Stan Heath. Do you remember his dad?
Oh, I remember his dad. His dad was really, really good. He was an all-conference player. He was a problem. The crazy thing about it is on my staff is Jay Smith, who was his coach at Central Michigan. So we're full circle around here.
That's crazy.
There you go.
That is crazy. What does it mean, Stan, to have a guy like Max next to you? You know, he missed some games last year with the ankle injury. I assume he's 100% at this point, but a guy that you know what you're going to get in a day and age where, as a coach, there aren't many of those. You know, you're looking down the line on the bench for that first game, and you're like, all right, like, I think I know, but I'm not going to know until he gets in the game.
Well, since the day I got the job, I've always followed Mac. He was at Henry Ford Community College, and then he went on to Arkansas State where he got hurt, and he went to the University of Detroit. So I followed his career, and obviously I've been a big fan of his as well, too. And so when you're going through the portal, there's so many things. I think obviously you want a talented player. That's so important. The character is so important too. But then you look at specific things, and he's got a lot of boxes that get checked. High character guy, strong work ethic, great communicator out there on the court, and he can really shoot the basketball. So and he's not just that, but he can shoot the basketball. So and he's got age and experience, and that's the one good thing, not just about Mac, but I have a lot of older guys on my team. Actually, I have a couple guys that are 23, 24 years old. So, we got guys that have been around a little bit, that are hungry. I think have played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulders, got things to prove. And the good thing about it is 8 or 9, I could be off, are all from the state of Michigan, all kind of grew up playing with each other. So they have chemistry and a bond that existed before they even came here.
Mac, you the coach kind of referenced it there. You tore your ACL, I believe it was the 22-23 season. How long did it kind of take you to get back to feeling like yourself again? And where are you in terms of kind of feeling back to the guy that you were before that happened?
Well, the ACL injury, that was definitely a challenge for me because the recovery process was a lot longer than I expected. It kind of shifted off into that next season that I ended up having at U of D as well, to where I didn't have my legs completely. I was struggling a lot, honestly, but obviously, fighting through a little adversity, it got better. And now I'm feeling, honestly, the best I've felt in a very long time. My knees don't bother me too much. My ankle is not even really a thought besides just taping before practice. So it's, it took a minute for sure, but, we're all good now, so.
All right, Addison Patterson, Stan. He has been around a long time. I think you might have been in your 40s when Addison came into basketball. He started at Oregon. He was a big time recruit back in 2018. Bounced around a little bit, dealt with some issues, some injuries, whatnot. You got him after a really good year at Northwestern State. He got cleared in the offseason. How big, how important of a pickup was this for you to be able to get him and him to be eligible for another year as a grown man who is super talented?
Wow, we feel really fortunate. You never know. We're in the portal and we see a guy like this available, and then we realize, he could get another year. He may not get another year. You don't know. And, you take it to your compliance people. You go over the case and you kind of get a feel for, okay, do we want to take this? Is the risk worth the reward? And obviously, for our part, it is definitely worth it. He's a super talented player. I don't even know what position he plays. He plays all over the court, 1 through 4. And he can pass it, handle it, shoot it. He can defend. He's super aggressive. So, and he blends in well with our team. I think whenever you have a guy that's not only a talented scorer, but he's a really good passer, it connects things together. So he's a very good connector out there on the floor. He didn't get cleared till maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. So he didn't have his full summer. He didn't have his full fall. So he's still, kind of rounding himself into playing shape and his rhythm as well too. But he's a huge difference maker for our program.
Stan, I referenced the Kent State team a little bit earlier that had Antonio Gates on it. As good as Gates was as a basketball player, at what point did you kind of realize that, hey, this guy might have a future in football? And did you ever expect to see him turn into what he turned into on the football field?
Well, there's a lot of backstory to that. He was an All-American out of high school, and then we kind of team recruited him to some degree at Michigan State. I was an assistant at Michigan State at that time. And so he went to Michigan State. Nick Saban was the head coach at that time. But at that time, he was a Prop 48, so he was on the team. I get confused with the rules. I can't remember if he could practice, not practice, whatever, but he was on the team. And then at the end of that year, he kind of came into my office because I knew him. He was from Detroit. And he just said, "Hey, Coach, what do you think about Coach Chisholm? Let me play basketball as well as football." And I said, "You might want to talk to Coach Saban about that first, and we'll talk to Coach Chisholm." So I already knew back then, he was a stud for football. And so it was just kind of one of those things where at that time, he was a great football player. I'm not sure his love for football was quite there. And so when he came to Kent State, we had talked about him playing both. And he actually went out in the spring and things didn't quite work out for whatever reason. He just stuck to basketball. And then after his basketball season, things just kind of rekindled. It's a long story. It would take our full time, so I don't want us to go into that.
That's crazy, though. That is kind of crazy. What's also crazy is that your pullover there, whatever you want to call it, looks like it does not have a stain on it, which I'm told is very rare for you. For anything that you wear, I'm told that you're always spilling something and that you should have stock in the shout, wipe, and goes. Is that true?
I have two answers for that. Number one, we're going to find out who snitches are around here. We don't play. And number two, when you get my age, sometimes some things spill a little bit. So, hey, I go with it. I just go with the flow. It don't bother me one bit.
You know what you should learn by this point in your life is don't wear white. Look at Mac, at least wears something a little bit darker so that if you do spill, it's not as noticeable. Come on, man. You should know this by now.
I thought you were going to say you get those Tide wipes or those other wipes, just the shout outs, and just carry those with you. That's what I do.
That too. That would be smart.
All right, Mac, we got a lot of new faces on this roster here this year. A lot of people that it's Eastern Michigan fans are going to get to know over the course of the next 6 months. Who is the guy that they should be excited about watching play? Who's someone that has kind of impressed you over the course of the summer and the fall?
I can't name one guy. Honestly, we have a very deep team. It will be an exciting team to watch in general. So I would honestly
two. All right, give us two then.
You mean 2, 3, 4, however many you want. Shout out some of your teammates. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'll start with Carlos. Carlos, he's been a huge addition for us. He's very physical. He plays 1 through 4, just like Addy. I can throw Addy in there as well. Makai Ellison, he's a great point guard. Knows how to score the ball. Knows how to get people involved. Plays defense. So John Sanders, Aiden Rubio. I can name the whole team if like that's honestly how I feel about our guard.
Can you though? Could you?
Yeah, let's see.
Come on, let's go. The team right now.
I got the roster in front of me.
Say what we're talking.
Name the roster. Let's go. I got it in front of me. Let's see if we can get everyone.
I might not be able to go by number. I can go from the locker room. So we have Braylon Green, Mac Mansell, Aiden Rubio, John Sanders. Who's next? Gregory, our freshman, God's Love, John Chanu. Who else is in this side of the locker room? Well, I'll just start naming Mo, Mbai, Merritt. Who's that? 10, Cooper, Addy.
Almost there.
Who am I missing? John Sanders already said him. Makai. I don't know if I said him. Should be everybody, right?
Yassine
and
Merritt.
I think you got them all.
That's everybody, right?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive.
Stan can't go. He can't even name half of them right now.
I can't.
He's got to look at his cheat sheet. I guarantee it. And he's not alone. He's not alone. Most coaches have to deal with that right now. I mean, that's the crazy part of where we are right now. Stan, before we let you go, what's the biggest difference in this team this year compared to maybe the last couple of years in terms of maybe stylistically?
Well, I think in the past, a couple of things. In the past, we've had a kind of a stud. Last year, Deshaun Nelson was terrific. Jalen Terry. We had Amani Bates before that. Tyson Acuff as well, too, and North Faircon. So we've had some guys. This team, as Max alluded to, is very, very deep. We have a lot of interchangeable parts. Our style of play is different. We've actually kind of blended a little bit of European style into how we play as well, too. A lot of full court basketball, a lot of up-tempo basketball, a lot of what I call random basketball, where maybe not necessarily a lot of plays, but, kind of playing in space and playing off each other. And I think this team has terrific balance. Like, we can go inside. We got a big kid, Mo Habhab. I think he'll be a surprise kid in the league as well, too, that can score inside, can score outside, and really pass the ball as a 6'10" player. So our depth is really, really a big key for us. And I think our ability to wear people down will be a factor as well.
Well, Stan, Mac, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season, and I hope you keep that nice white quarter zip clean, Stan. It's really look brand new. Keep it looking brand new as long as you can.
Jeff, we gotta have a little drip,
Drip. Drip is one thing, not drip. Not really.
Best of luck this season, guys. Great to see you.
Thanks, guys.
That's Stan Heath and Max Mansell from Eastern Michigan. We continue here on Mac Media Day. This might have been the most ridiculous media day we've done. Coming up next, we got Ohio, the Bobcats, Jeff Bowles, Jackson Pavletsky. We're going to bring them in here right now. Jackson,
hey, Rob,
go ahead.
Before you start, do you know Jackson's nickname that was given to him by a blackjack dealer in the Bahamas 3 years ago? Jackson, was it 3 years ago?
I think it was two or three. Yeah,
feels like three, man. It feels like three. Yeah. You look a lot older. Back then, I hate admitting this, but I mistook you for a walk-on because you looked like you were like 12 back then.
Yeah.
But tell everybody what your nickname was from the dealer.
It was Big Daddy.
It was awesome. It was you played along well. You were winning. I think you might have retired after that night at the blackjack table.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get going, I appreciate you guys doing this. You know, a couple years ago, we didn't have this opportunity. And I know we talked about this prior to, and you know, this is great for our league, great for our program as well. But I want to flip this on you real quick because I've seen what you've done, Goodman. And unfortunately, Jeff does not partake in Halloween costumes because I try to get a picture of you. And the second thing, he's very anti-holiday because he doesn't allow Christmas music in the house, which you know. But I try to get some. Yeah, I tried to flip this on you and didn't get anything really good. But you know, you need to allow some Christmas music, the spirit.
Hey,
I know.
Bowles, you should have come to me. I got all the dirt, and I'm willing to spill all of it. Just keep my
We
name
gotta keep
out
this
of it, all right?
PG-13 though. This is a family oriented.
All right, Jackson. Since we're boys from back in the day, I want to know kind of how you've grown over the last couple of years. You know, you got an opportunity last year to really show what you could do. You know, you had a great freshman year at Wofford, SoCon Freshman of the Year. Obviously, things didn't go quite as well. You go to Iowa State, and you come back and have a hell of a year last year. How long did it take to get your confidence back last season? And now what can we expect from you this year now that you feel good about yourself? You've got a year under your belt with Bulls.
I mean, yeah, obviously coming from Iowa State and, like you said, having it not go as I kind of envisioned it. I guess I don't really regret. I mean, I learned a lot there. I've taken a lot of it with me here, and it kind of took me, I guess, a little bit to get going last year, kind of getting my confidence back and really learning how to play. But just credit to Coach Bowles and the staff. They always were kind of instilling confidence in me and telling me just to be myself out there. So I think I've grown a lot, and I'm glad that I got another shot at this and kind of just got back to being myself. And I think this year, just being a senior and staying with the same group of guys, not transferring, and knowing the system, you can expect just a lot from me, just my experience in college basketball thus far, and just taking another leap.
What is it about Coach Bowles? What is it about this program? I mean, you're back. Elijah Elliott's back. Aiden Hadaway's back. AJ Sheldon's back. There's retention. You got a couple redshirt freshmen that are back. The star of the program, the star of the show, the star of the Bowles family, Chase Bowles, is back in the program as well. What is it about Coach and kind of the environment at Ohio that has gotten you guys to come back? Because, I mean, look, you got 5, 6, 7 guys returning to the program. That is a big number in college basketball in 2025.
Yeah, and even when I transferred here last year, like, there was a big group of core guys that stayed as well. So I think it's just, I don't know, I feel really comfortable here. It's just the confidence and the freedom that the staff instills in the players, and it feels just like a family environment. And they say don't mess with happy, so like I was happy here. I felt really comfortable, and that's why I chose to stay. And I trust everyone here to get me better.
I love that. I mean, I love that because, again, you know, you see that a lot, right? Guys go from mid-major to high major. It doesn't quite work out. Then they come back and they understand, okay, you know what? Like, I'm not going to mess with happy. Like, and I get it these days, right, Bulls? You know, kids have a chance to make maybe a lot more money going to that high major level. But would you rather play well, win, or, you know, maybe, again, be more of a rotation guy that doesn't get – I mean, you want to play. Like, you want to play. And I think, you know, Jackson, watching him last year, obviously he was able to show what we all knew he could do, but just didn't really get the opportunity at Iowa State on a loaded team.
Yeah, I think if you look at the climate, you know, you guys have talked about this all day. You know, it's different. To have core group back is really big at our level. And you see the better teams in our league, you know, retain, you know, a core group. And, you know, we've seen it from guys that we've had here before go to a higher level. You know, their minutes get cut in half, their productivity gets cut in half, their usage gets cut in half. And, you know, in Jackson's situation, you know, he did it, played every game, but didn't play the role he wanted, and then he came back, to our level. And the biggest thing when that happens is kind of like rewiring their mentality and their brain, to get their confidence back, because a lot of times they lose it. We had Jason Carter a few years ago. There was a Xavier that came back, and it took a couple months to kind of, build that confidence back up. So, we're elated he's here and stayed. He could have easily left, but I'm looking forward for a big year for him.
Bowles, we hired a guy. I always hear great things about the Ohio program. We hired a guy that was a manager for you by the name of Connor Herrick, and you gave us a very, very high recommendation on him. And I got to tell you, I'm questioning your evals now. Connor's a hard worker. Awareness level is like a 0.5, right? He has no idea where he's driving. He likes going the wrong way down a one-way street. He has a tendency to get lost looking for where he parked a car. Like, is this something that's typical of the Ohio program? Because I'm going to be honest, after working with Connor for a year, I have some questions.
He was never like that here, so I'm not sure what you guys did to him. It might be the culture. The culture you guys have there is a little different than here. So, but he wasn't like that here.
Hey, Bowles, give me the guy not named Jackson that has made the biggest jump in the offseason.
Yeah, I think, you always look at that freshman to sophomore group, that make a jump. And we got a couple good ones. Jesse Burris, Kier Kawani was a redshirt freshman last year, didn't play. You look at Aiden Evans and then Elijah Elliott. That core group's going to be big for us. Obviously, retaining Aiden Hadaway and AJ Sheldon and Elijah and Pav were huge. And then we had a really good transfer class. Javen Simmons, Jalen Breath, and Dior Connors. Guys who have won at this level, guys who are experienced at this level. And, it's a good mix of transfers in and kind of returners coming back.
Jackson, you guys got Javen Simmons coming in. He you played against him last year when he was at Toledo. What have you maybe learned about his game and learned about him as a player now that he's been with you guys and been working out with you guys that you didn't know beforehand when you were just playing against him?
Yeah, I would say Javen, like one thing that really stands out about him with me that I didn't know is he's a leader. Like, he's really vocal. He's done a great job with kind of leading this group. But, I mean, obviously playing him last year, I knew what he was about. So, obviously, when they brought it up that we were looking at him, I was like, yeah, like, let's go get him. And just a physical guy. I mean, I didn't know he could pass as well as he has shown here, so that's something I noticed about him. But, Javen is really just Javen, so.
Hey, Jackson, did you know that your coach next to you, the year they went to the NCAA tournament in 2021, in the tournament, he actually forgot his pants. He forgot his pants. And whose pants did you took the Dobo's pants. So I don't know if the Dobo went pantless to the games or not, but I'm told you took the Dobo's pants, and then because you won that game, you kept wearing the Dobo's pants. True?
Yeah, so our director of ops, Jake Ness, he's actually taller than me, a little bit bigger, but the pants were a little bit tighter on me because my butt's so big and my legs are so big. So they were like skinny jeans. And, we kept winning, so I had to keep rolling with it, and they became the lucky pants.
What did he wear?
What did he wear? I wasn't worried about what he was wearing. I was worried about
me. So are you officially a skinny jeans guy now? Like, have you given up the non-skinny jeans?
Absolutely not. Luckily they were black, so they made you look a little thinner. But I'm not the skinny jean type of guy. Definitely not.
If black pants make you look thinner, we got to get Goodman 3 or 4 pairs of those.
Yeah, it's true. I have them. I have them. I'm going to wear them. I'm going to wear them to Vegas later this week, Rob.
All right. Last thing I got for you guys. If we look up in February or March and you guys are right there competing for a MAC championship, first place, whatever it is, what's the main thing that has to happen? Jackson, I want your answer, and then Bowles, you go after Jackson's done.
Man, I would say just our ability to to finish plays and like rebound the ball and then getting stops and being able to get out in transition. I think our transition offense is really good for us. So being able to do that and get out and convert in transition, I think is going to be big for us.
Jeff?
Yeah, I think for me, it's stay healthy. Last year in 30 years of coaching, it's the most injuries, most significant injuries to key people that I've ever, had. And I heard you talking to Todd, Simon, very, very similar deal. We were playing, AJ Sheldon at the 4, and we were just, had duct tape going on. Practice was 3v3, 4v4 stuff. And, I was proud of the way our guys ended. We beat Akron last year at home, beat Miami home, played Kent tough with a depleted roster. But I think the biggest thing is going to be stay healthy.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, it's great to see you. I appreciate, Jeff, you jumping on and trying to roast Goodman, because that doesn't happen enough. So he needs to get his get back. So I'll make sure next year when we do this, you come talk to me beforehand. We'll get him covered.
We don't need that.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Great to see
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks.
You too.
Thanks, guys. That was the Ohio Bobcats, Jeff Bowles, Jackson Pavletsky. We're going to be joined here coming up soon by Travis Steele of Miami of Ohio and his star player, Peter Suter, as soon as they make it here. That was fun, man. That was the first time that we've had a coach come on here and try to roast you, Goodman.
Yeah,
you always try to catch these guys.
He was ready.
Good.
He was ready, but he didn't go to the right place. I wonder where he got that info from, because it sounds like it might be Talia. It sounds like it could be Talia.
What's happening right now is exactly what you put every single one of these coaches through.
Right.
When
They
you get some stuff on there, like, who did he talk to? We got Travis Steele, we got Peter here. What's going on, guys? Miami of Ohio. How we doing? Coach, what's going on, man? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you guys.
So you got to be feeling good. You got to be feeling good, Trav, because I don't know if anybody, in this day and age, and Rob and I were talking about earlier, if you bring back like 4 of your top 8, like you're doing like cartwheels, you're happy. And for you guys, you come off a year where you win a school record 25 games last year, first 21 season in 25 years, and you bring 5 of your top 6 scorers back. Like, how good do you feel right now compared to most of your counterparts?
Yeah, really good. Obviously it's a unique landscape that we're in right now, and there's a lot of turnover with the transfer portal and whatnot. We've been really, really fortunate to keep the guys that we've kept, and I think it's just all about fit. Like we've done a good job. Our staff's done a great job of identifying guys that fit Miami, the school, that fit our program, our core values. And again, when you have your best players, man, that it makes it easy to coach when they fit. So. And I think that's been the key to our ability to retain guys.
Peter, it clicked for you pretty much right away at Miami. You transfer in from Bellarmine, and you come in and you have your best kind of statistical season and the best season that you've played with on a team. And it just worked for you guys. Why? What was it about the fit and the culture and the coach and your ability? What made all of those things click so well?
I mean, it's just everything that the coaches instill in us confidence-wise. I mean, the players, we're all super close. The connectivity is great. And then when I came on my visit in the transfer portal, I committed on the spot. I didn't even have to leave campus. The campus is beautiful. The people here are great. It just felt like a home feeling almost, and it just worked out the way it should have.
So you averaged almost 14 a game last year. You had 42 in a game against Air Force, an efficient 42. Give me what's going to be the biggest difference, what maybe either coaches challenge you with or you've challenged yourself with this year that you didn't do last year.
I'm going to say the biggest challenge for us as a whole is just knowing we have a target on our backs now. Last year, I think we were 6 or 7 in the preseason rankings. Now we're 2. So obviously people know how good we are and good we are going to be. So I think the biggest challenge for us is know that we're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. We got to take every single game like it's the MAC championship. Like we're going to get everybody's best shot no matter what.
I'm curious for both you guys, because we talked with a coach last week who had a similar kind of end to the championship that you guys had last year, lost a close game, lost a heartbreaker, and he came in with a completely new roster. So it's like that happened last season, but you don't have that same level of motivation because the guys that are in that locker room didn't experience it. Peter, you were there last year. You kind of went through that. How much is the way that last year's MAC tournament ended driven you guys? Is there a level of motivation and determination within that locker room that you guys are feeling?
It's in the back of our heads, I'm not going to lie, but you also got to move forward from it and take some positives from it. I mean, it's like some unfinished business for sure, but you got to keep moving forward, keep getting better, and keep that same motivation that you had last year.
Hey, Trav, what's going to be the biggest difference? We've talked about how many guys you have back and what a luxury that is, but what's going to be the biggest difference from last year's team to this year's team? Is there something you're doing anything different schematically? Obviously, you added a key piece to the portal, but what's the biggest difference going to be?
Yeah, I think just leadership, Jeff. I think, starting with Peter, obviously, right here. He was a captain last year, captain again. He was voted as captain by his teammates. Evan Ipsaro was voted as a captain again. He's a junior for us. And Ian Elmer, who's a junior now as well, was voted as a captain. And I think the best teams in the country can fix themselves live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can overcome adversity. And we only get we have too many timeouts in college basketball as it is, with all the media timeouts and all the stuff that goes on. But I do think, man, like the player-led teams are way better than coach-led teams. And I think that gives us a chance to be really, really, really good in this landscape where there isn't a lot of continuity on a lot of teams.
What is it about? Like, what's the key? What's the secret? How are you able to get these guys to want to come back? Is it success on the court? Is it the relationships that you have with them? Because we talked about it earlier, but this is just, it's striking to see a team where you have this many players that play this many minutes coming back to a program.
Yeah, I think it goes back to fit again, Rob. I just, again, I think our guys have an incredible connectivity to them. And I think that shows with the way that we play on both ends of the floor. That's kind of our superpower in a lot of ways. But they really get along well. Our staff gets along really well with the players, our managers, everybody that's kind of within our program. I think the culture is really strong. And again, our guys deserve all that credit. They make it come to life every single day, and they know we're going to win, but we're going to win the right way. We're going to do things the right way, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So they enjoy the journey, because everybody talks about the end result, right? And we all want the end result. Listen, we want to be in the NCAA tournament. We want to advance into it, and that was my goal when I came here. But where I get all my joy is through the journey, and I think our guys do as well. The highs and lows, leaning into it. We lost 2 in a row last year to Eastern and Western Michigan. And listen, I knew we'd bounce back and respond. Our guys always respond.
Hey, Peter, your coach is competitive. He's competitive at just about everything. I want to know what happened in paintball, and were you on his team or were you on the winning team?
I was not on his team, and I was on the winning team. Obviously.
Now listen.
No.
Now, I would tell you.
I asked Peter. I asked Peter here.
So Jeff, my question to you, like when the NBA championship goes on and all the confetti's falling down from the ceiling, the team that wins last wins the championship.
That's not true. That's not true. We played a 3-game series, and my team won twice.
You guys won. You won the exhibition.
We won 2-1.
See how competitive he is. I love this. I love it. Is he any good, Peter, or is he an easy target because he's kind of slow, unathletic?
Wow! This is incredible.
He is slow and unathletic, but he is good.
Answer this very carefully.
He's smart and has stretch. He is very
scrappy.
So.
Hey, Peter.
The
word for Trav is scrappy.
No, you tried to get me on the left side. I remember it specifically, and then I got you. And then what happened after that?
You got me once. I got you once. I'm pretty sure.
No. Dan Lewis will get me. That's the only person on the team.
So who's the best? Peter, I want your power rankings of the guys in the program. Give me like the top 3 at paintball.
Dan Lewis, number 1, no doubt. Then it goes me, 100%. I'm going to say Coach Steele. Coach Steele. He's good. And then I'm going to go Evan Ipsar for they're neck and neck just because Evanesar is insanely fast. He's super hard to hit,
and he's a small target.
All right, Peter. I'm gonna give Trav a chance to get back at you here a little bit. You played Miami of Ohio when you were a Bellarmine before you got to the Red Hawks. Do you remember who won that game?
I do remember who won that game.
Who won that game? Who won that game?
Ohio won that game.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
I remember that.
I figure it's only fair. It's only fair. He's older. He needs his confidence up a little bit right now. So we'll take care of him there. I got one more for you though. You got all these guys back. You did go in the portal, Trav, and you added a kid from Bradley, skilled, big Almar Atlason. Why him? Because you didn't need a lot. So my guess is you were very, in terms of going after a certain type of guy. Why him?
I think number one, he's versatile. He could play multiple spots. He could play the 5, he could play the 4. And I love having guys that can play multiple positions. And then just his skill set, Jeff, like he shoots the heck out of the ball. We take a lot of threes. We shoot the ball at a high rate. And he can pass. He can do a lot of things. And then he came from a place, Brian Wardle and Bradley, man, their program is top notch. They've won a ton. So he's been around winning. And I think that really, really matters. So we only took one guy out of the portal and then we brought in 5 freshmen. So we got a lot of new guys, but we also got a lot of returners. So we have a good blend.
All right, Peter, last thing I got for you, man. We asked you about paintball skills, and you were very specific in who you mentioned. I'm curious if I ask you who on this team has improved this offseason, if we're going to be as specific, if we're going to get the, everybody that's coming back has gotten that much better. Who's kind of impressed you based off the summer that they had?
I'm going to say Ian Elmer and Brant Byers, 100%. I mean, Ian Elmer coming from his sophomore year to his junior, he's already made a big jump. Even I know it's in the summer. And then same thing with Brant Byers. I mean, they just keep getting better every single day, every single week, and just stacking days to making themselves better. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, listen, it's great to see you. Best of luck this season. And hopefully we get a better result than what happened at the end of the year. But I got a feeling you guys are going to be right there in the mix, man. You were picked second in this conference, and that kind of retention and that kind of success is it's special in college basketball. And I hope you guys can embrace it and celebrate it.
We appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Work on those paintball skills, Trav. I don't know where you get this stuff, man. Toledo's coming up next here on Mac Media Day. For the men's portion, we have Toledo, and then we have Akron, and we head to the women's portion of the programming here on the show. So we're going to be joined now by Todd Kowalczyk and Sonny Wilson from Toledo. Guys, what's going on, man? How we doing? Todd, what's going on?
Hi, Rob. Hi, Jeff. How you guys doing?
Great. How you doing, Todd? Sonny, you guys doing well? I didn't get a lot of dirt. I didn't get a lot of dirt on your coach, Sonny. I'm still working on it. I'm hoping for maybe some last minute text from a couple people I put in. I put in some text to, but
you're asking the wrong people, Jeff.
I know. Well, there's not as much dirt on you anyway. I mean, I think the biggest thing I got. We'll start with it. I was going to end with it, but we'll start with it. I heard your shoulder's been bothering you a lot, but you can't get surgery in the off season because it would interfere with your golf game and lake season. True?
Surfing season. Yes. I can't
do
it in the off season because I like to wake surf.
All right. I like it. You're gonna have to get me out there and teach me how to wake surf at some point.
Yes, please. Make sure we have a camera. Make sure it's in 4K because I would love to be able to have.
I'll get you.
Video of Goodman trying to wake surf. Sonny, you're back. All right, you're back at the program. You're back at Toledo. What was it about? What Todd does as a coach? What is it about the Toledo basketball that kind of? And it feels weird saying that, but it's true. In this era of college basketball, you have success. A lot of guys are going to go look and see what else they can get. You're back here at Toledo. Why?
I just felt like it was home. I just felt like me personally just had to work on some things and get better at, and just over the time of the summer and fall, I got better at those things. I'm gonna continue to get better and lead my team. And at the end of the day, we got one goal, win the MAC championship.
What are
Well,
those
that's
what are
all.
those things? What were you trying to get better at, and where did you see yourself getting better?
Improving my leadership. That was the main thing. Like I always been a good leader, but I kind of took a step back. I can say for myself, like my first year here, even though we had Raheem and Dante and them, I still should have been more of a vocal leader. Last year, same thing with J1, but this year, I improved it even more. And another thing was my shooting. My shooting was kind of inconsistent, always coming in. So I feel like each year I've been getting better at it, and I've been getting better at the whole summer. So now I feel more comfortable.
The good thing for you, Todd, is you got Sonny and a couple other guys back. But like most teams, right, you got a lot of new dudes, a lot of new guys that you don't know yet until, the season starts, kind of how they're going to react and how they're going to play in your system with you coaching them. Give me a guy, and let's leave Leroy for later, because I want to talk to you about him specifically after. But give me somebody else through maybe the portal that you brought in that you feel like is going to make a huge contribution this year for you.
I think Austin Parks, number one. I mean, he's all of 6'10", 6'11", 260 pounds. Didn't get a whole lot of opportunity at Ohio State. He's going to get a lot of opportunity here. To be honest with you, he's better in every way than I anticipated. He's a better worker. He's a better player, better person, better teammate than I thought he'd be. Not that I had any doubt about that stuff, but he's better in every way. He's a good player, so he's really going to help us. And let me give you a second one too. I do think Kyler Vanderjagt has been around the MAC at Central Michigan and at Belmont. He's a guy that can really shoot the ball. So those two guys can really impact the game for us.
You got 6 freshmen coming in, Todd, in an era where a lot of coaches are not prioritizing freshmen in their recruitment in the way that they kind of build rosters. How do you kind of get them acclimated? And are you finding yourself like maybe able to kind of get a higher level of recruit now that a lot of the Power 4, Power 5 programs are looking more towards just transfers instead of trying to develop some guys internally?
Rob, that's a great point, and that's facts. We are getting better high school recruits than we ever have, I think. We brought in 5 freshmen this year. I think 3 of them are going to be in the rotation day one. And that's obviously Leroy Blyden, but London Prater, a 7-foot guy from Colorado, he's a good player. I anticipated redshirting him. We're not redshirting him. He's going to play. He's going to play quite a bit. And then Will James Jr. from Raleigh, North Carolina. Had a little bit of slow start to the summer, but boy, since the fall, his true personality's come out. He's matured in every way. He's a really physical guard. He's one of those guys that you throw him in the game and something's going to happen. You're not quite sure what yet, but something. And more times than not, I think it's going to be good. But he's going to make something happen.
Sonny, I see you over there smiling. Talk about Will for me.
Will is just a funny guy, but I love him just on and off the court. His personality is coming out, and like Coach said, he gonna hustle. He's just gonna make a play for whatever it is. He's gonna make a play, and that just translates to our game.
All right, Leroy Blyden. I've heard a lot about this kid. Mr. Basketball runner-up, went to Detroit Jesuit, can score, can shoot, can pass. How exciting is he to have in the program? Number one, Todd, and just kind of give a little bit of a scouting report for those that in the MAC that don't know him yet but are going to know him soon.
Well, number one, we're extremely fortunate to have this guy right here, Detroit Jesuit. Really well coached. Pat Donnelly, a great high school coach who just retired from coaching, actually, and now Leroy Blyden from the same program. They played together in high school. Sonny helped us recruit him. Leroy Blyden is going to be special. It's going to take a little bit of time for him, but he's special. He's ultra talented, can really, impact the game a lot of different ways. He's got to get stronger, and I think that'll only help his defense. We've had so many good guards coming through here, and he's every bit as talented as any guard that we've ever brought in. That's Ryan Rollins, Sonny, Ray J. Dennis, Morion Jackson. He's every bit as talented as any one of those guys.
That's a good group. I mean, that's a really good crop. So when you hear the list of those names that are kind of coming through this program, what does it make you think?
I tell recruits I'm fortunate to tell guys, I'm the only head coach calling you that's got 2 NBA guards right now. We got 2 of them, and I'd like to think we got more coming, but, time will tell with that. But Ryan Rollins is doing a great job with the Milwaukee Bucks, and Ray J. Dennis with the Pacers doing great too.
Sonny, how did you help in the recruitment of Leroy? Because like Coach said, came out of the same program, played with him in high school. Do you get a major assist for this? Do you get an NIL boost or something? What happened here?
I just kept it real with him. He's my little brother at the end of the day. So I just told him what the program was about, and the process I went through when Coach K and Coach Ingram was recruiting me, and I told him like, hey, from day one they just showed love, and I just felt the connection, and they gave me the opportunity day one. Day one I was a starter here. I was able to play with a great group of guys. Lead to a conference championship. And I told him like, you can be the same way here. Come here. Play the same game. Keep getting better.
Sonny, your real name is Jamarion, right? Where does the nickname Sonny Jamarion? Where does the nickname Sonny come from?
My granny. So when I was born, she couldn't remember my first name, so she said she was going to decide to call me Sonny. So ever since then, it always stuck. So Jamarion kind of got pushed out the way. So now I just go by Sonny.
I'm the only one that calls him that, by the way. On occasion, I'll call him that.
What, the Jamarion?
Jamarion.
I need a. Sometimes I forget Rob's first name too, so I need a good nickname. Todd. Right now, I just call him Dumbass. So.
Oh, there you go. Hey, our whole program is full of nicknames. Just give me a call. I'll give you a couple of good ones for him.
Hey, Sean Craig, a guy that maybe isn't going to be like a huge numbers guy. I don't know, but he's kind of. I know at his former stop at IU Indy, like a glue guy, just a jack of all trades, does everything well. How valuable was he to bring in just kind of as that? Because those guys, again, they're tougher to find these days. Let's be honest.
The terminology you use is glue guy. He's the ultimate role player. You know exactly what you're getting every day. You're getting effort. You're getting defense. He's going to get 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. Can make open threes. Doesn't take bad shots. He's a great teammate. And he's so good for this community. He's from here. He's a finance guy. He wants to get into banking. He's already lined up at Premier Bank here in town. Wonderful family, wonderful person. So we're glad to have him.
Sonny, who's impressed you of the new faces that have come into the program? You don't have to just single one guy. Give me a couple names, but who's kind of impressed you? Who can Toledo fans be excited about seeing play this season?
Like I said, Leroy, minor strong for sure. I feel like he's going to be one of them guys. He played both ends of the floor. Austin Parks, Craig, Will, Kyler, Wingo, and Tyler Odie. We got a great group of guys that's going to come in and compete, And like we said, we getting up and down the floor. We're going to play. We're going to compete every night.
The one X factor that we've kind of left out is Chris Riddle from DePaul. And he just last week was his first week of practice. We played Finley on Sunday, and he only played the end of the first half, but he's going to play quite a bit against Xavier on this Sunday. He's the X factor. He had a Jones fracture, a 5th metatarsal early on, but he's back now. He's into his second week of practice, and all signs point. I think he's pretty good.
All right, Todd. So last year was actually a down year by Toledo standards. You still won 18 games. You won 10 games in league play, but due to the expectations that you guys have put on the program, due to winning it every year, it was considered a down year. How do you get back? How do you get back to winning the league this year? What's the key?
I'm going to change your terminology down to awful year.
All
we
right.
had an awful year. And we still were the 4th seed in the conference tournament. A lot of programs would like to be the 4th seed. And it was an awful year for us, and for a lot of reasons. We made some mistakes last year in the portal. Our chemistry wasn't very good. Sonny referenced the leadership wasn't very good last year. He's done a phenomenal job of changing that thus far. And we're getting back to what made us so successful. High character men from great families, number one. Number two, we got to get back to recruiting better shooters. We got away from that a little bit. And then we have to have just a newfound belief in defense, because last year we didn't guard anybody. We were awful. And we've had some really good defensive teams come through here. Last year we were bad. So we made some significant changes personnel-wise, but the changes have been really good. We've done different things defensively that I'd like to change that we're doing. Had two tremendous NBA guys really help us with our defense. So we look forward to this season.
So, are you okay with Goodman having you on the hot seat, Todd? Because he put it out there. You were number one on the list. 18 wins at Toledo, unacceptable. He put you right there on the hot seat.
It is unacceptable, to be honest with you. Not necessarily the 18 wins or the 4 seed. It was not a normal Toledo team. It wasn't a fun team to root for. It was not a fun team to coach. And Sonny would have much big difference from his freshman year to sophomore year. We made the right changes to make us, get back to where we want to be.
I love the honesty. I do. I love the honesty. You do not hear that from coaches. Now, you've been doing this a long time, so and you've won at such a high level that I think you can afford to be that way, right? And have confidence that you're going to get it back this year. So, Todd, I love it. I love how honest you are and always are with us and really with everybody. And Sonny, just keep being that leader, man, because that's the key. That's the key.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here.
Terry Weimer, too, guys. All right.
Yes. Very true.
man.
Very true. Rest in peace to Terry.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
And
Thanks,
have
guys.
a great year. Sonny, keep leading, Sonny. Keep leading.
Yes, sir. I got you.
He is. Trust me.
That was Toledo, Todd Kowalczyk, and Sonny Wilson. Our last team of the men's portion of the programming. Akron is going to be here in just a minute. John Gross and Tavari Johnson. Then we will talk with the commissioner of the MAC before things kick off with the talented member of the Goodman family, Talia, doing this with the men's and or with the women's coaches and the women's players. So when John Gross and Tavari get here, we'll bring them on. Coming off of a season for the Zips, 28-7, 17-1 in the league. They won the conference. They lost in the first round of the tournament to Arizona. Year 9 for John Gross, and he is here. And John, I got to ask you this, man. So I went back. And I had forgotten that you guys beat Miami in the way that game ended. And I went back and I watched the end of the MAC championship game. And I mean this sincerely. It looked like that pained you for the way that game ended. Like you went down, I watched the video, you grabbed your knees. It looked like it hurt to go over there and shake Travis's hand. Obviously, Travis is your brother. What was that moment like where on the one hand, you are winning an unbelievable, incredible game. It was thrilling. And on the other hand, you got to go and shake your brother's hand who was on the other side of that.
Well, obviously we were elated that we won and had great confidence throughout the 18-point deficit, to be honest with you. There was no panic in our group. Our guys, we had an older group and we just kind of stayed with it. It was obviously an odd ending. Amani comes up with a big-time rebound after Tavari's great shot challenge and contest at the rim on Ipsaro. Great outlet pass, and then Nate Johnson with a great slow Euro step, skill development finish to win the game. So it wasn't really odd until I shook his hand, Rob, to be honest with you. I didn't think about it until that point because all day I kept that out of the equation. I know obviously the media has a job to do and has to make that a storyline. But I think Tavari would tell you that I didn't mention it one time the entire day leading into the game. I just didn't think it was fair to our players and their players for that to be the storyline, quite frankly. I thought it was two really good basketball teams that were both playing really well down the stretch, and that the emphasis needed to be on the teams and the individual players that were on both sides. So, but once I shook his hand, obviously you feel that a little bit, right? For sure. And, aside from certainly when we're playing them, I'm always rooting for them, but not when the Zips are playing them.
Mm-hmm. Hey, John, you've gone to the tournament now 3 of the last 4 years, won at least 22 games all 4 years, 66-26 in league play since 2020. Absolutely crazy. You lose Nate Johnson. I'm thinking, man, it's going to be a rebuild. Like, how is it not in this day of mid-major basketball where, you guys get, crushed through the portal. And instead you're picked first in the preseason. You bring back a lot of key pieces including Tavari. I guess the biggest thing to me is like, were you surprised at all about the retention? Because these days you don't know. Like, you just have no idea how it's going to play out. Again, relationships matter still. We know that. But money generally matters a little bit more in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and I think it's a combination, Jeff, of four things. I'll be very candid, and this is how I really feel about it. Number one, we've won. I mean, to win 5 regular season / conference tournament championships in a 6-year window, only 7 teams in all of college basketball have done that. You mentioned the record we've had in league play. Our home record the last 2 years is 44-2. We're first in the country, with Houston right behind us at 44-3. So the winning helps certainly with retention. I think secondly, the culture. Tavari would tell you, we really do. You hear it all the time, and it can become cliche, but we have good dudes. Like, there isn't one guy who's a, jackass in that locker room. There really isn't. And we try to purposely make it. Yeah, just the coach. That's right. We try to make it sure that we continue to honor that, who we have in there, and pay particular attention to who we bring into the environment and to the culture. So we've got really good guys and a good culture. We win. Every guy's graduated that's exhausted their eligibility. And every player's went on to play professional basketball over 9 years that's been a scholarship player. So all those things certainly attract people to want to be here and to want to stay. But on top of that, we've also had NIL. And relative to our league, it's been good. So I think all those things together kind of give you a formula as to why we've been able to retain. You mentioned relationships. We take a lot of pride in that. My assistant coaches are great. We've got a lot of continuity, which is also atypical. We've lost one assistant who moved basically back to Huntington, where his wife's from, his son lives, his grandkids are, and all of us, staff and support staff, stay in touch with Rob and are real close with Rob. So we've had a lot of continuity. That's offered us a lot of stability. And I think it's all those things together that have allowed us to retain at kind of an abnormally high level in this era and environment.
All right, Tavari, let's get you in here because you are a point guard. You are a player that has the ball in your hands. And you guys last season went from being a team that averaged about 65 possessions your first 2 years to being a top 15 team in terms of pace and tempo. You guys went from playing slow to playing like this. And I got to imagine as a point guard, that was a pretty fun thing for you to be able to do.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun last year. And it was also just a compliment with the guys around me that made it easy for me to play in that type of game style with Bowen, Seth, Zay, Nate. Like you said, we had a lot of guys that could put it on the floor and shoot it at a high level. So that playing style was really fun to play with because of the guys I had with me.
How much of an adjustment was that for you to go from playing something that was a little bit more possession by possession to getting out in transition and running?
It wasn't a very difficult. I used to play like that in high school. With my AAU teams in high school, we used to play pretty fast. So it was probably a bigger adjustment, like slowing down when we were throwing to the post and running a play every time down, and then we got back to what I'm used to pretty much. So it was a easy adjustment for me.
You were able to take the parking brake off finally. It's like, Coach, I've been here for 3 years, and you're finally going to let me get out here and run?
Yeah. Tavari will remind you that post player was named Freeman, who got drafted in the NBA draft in the second round and was third in the country in points per possession in the post behind Zach Edey and DJ Burns, and tied David Robinson for the most double-doubles in a single season in college basketball history. And on top of that, Jeff had him on one of his shows, and he loves Jeff. So, Rob, don't hold that against Jeff, because Reek had a great time with Jeff. So there was a reason that we were playing that way, in other words, and T knows that.
Yeah, we had a pretty good player.
Yeah, and Tavari, we did. I told Reek that the moment he retires, he replaces Rob. He replaces Rob. I'll have a real co-host in here who knows what the hell they're doing. All right, John, what have you challenged Tavari with, though, that he needs to do better this year? Obviously, he was great last year, but now there's going to be even more pressure on him this season.
Well, first of all, he's grown just in so many ways, person, student, player during his 4 years here. I'm really proud of him. And a lot of the guys have. But I've challenged him to be more vocal. He's done that. I challenged him to be in the best shape of his career. Obviously, he knows how we play relative to last year. We're playing the same way this year, tried to play even faster. He's done that. I thought heading into preseason, he was in the best cardio shape he's been in his career. He's a guy that comes early, guy who stays late, guy who takes care of his body. And so that's important when you have freshmen and newcomers. They're watching Tavari. They know how good a player that he is. We all recognize that. But it's how good a person he is, how good a teammate he is, how hard he works, how he approaches recovery and treatment, getting there early, staying late, being more vocal, really doing a good job helping some of our younger guys that we're developing as well. Like you take a guy like Ty Perkins, who's a freshman, that was the Ohio Division II Player of the Year. T's done a good job because T was in that spot once. You know, before T, there was Christian Jackson. Then there was Xavier Castaneda. And then T played with Castaneda, learned a lot from him and Greg. And now T's in that position. And now he has that responsibility to pass the torch a little bit and get outside of himself. And I think he's really done that, Jeff. Really, really proud of his growth, not only on the court, but obviously off the court as importantly.
Evan Mahaffey coming in, John, from Ohio State. What have you seen from him, and what kind of impact can Akron fans expect to have out of him coming into the program?
T will tell you, he'll make an impact. You know, he's a guy, I think, that does a little bit of everything, rebounds it, passes it really well, has had an incredible assist-to-turnover ratio here in preseason practice for a guy that's a wing forward. Gets deflections, blocks shots, great defender, great mover, good vertically, has really worked very hard on his shot, has become a better shooter. He's a really, really good player and will certainly be an impactful one for us.
How are Evan and Eric in practice together, Tavari? Do they go at it? Do they get along? Give me the dynamic there.
It depends on the day. If they're on different teams, they've definitely had their moments where it's like you can tell they're brothers, like they're fighting like brothers, you know. But they're great. They play well together. They're both great additions to the team. Eric's obviously been on the team, but hurt last year. So yeah, having them both on the court is going to be special for them and for us. So it's going to be cool to see.
How are they different in players, John? How are Evan and Eric different in kind of their roles and their skill sets?
Yeah, I'd say the two similarities, Jeff, would be their athleticism and their brain. They're really smart players. And they're very good movers athletically, whether that's laterally, vertically, running, good athletes. So those are the similarities. Both of them can really pass it. Eric is a great cutter. They both rebound it well. They're both developing and really worked hard in the area of shooting and have gotten better there. You know, obviously Evan's a little bit taller and maybe a little bit longer. Eric's more of a guard/wing, and Evan's more of a wing/forward. But both of them are certainly going to be a big part of what we do. You know, Eric's interesting. T mentioned him getting hurt. You know, last year he came in as a 17, bordering on 18-year-old freshman that still should have been a senior in high school. And T will tell you, he started the first scrimmage because he earned it and played 20-some minutes and was really playing well. And then he got hurt and had the season-ending injury. So Lord's blessed him and us with health thus far. And, he's played really well. Like this past week, he was the practice player of the week for the whole team. So he's really emerging. We kind of saw that he had that in him last year. Unfortunately, he just got dinged up a little bit, and that derailed his season.
All right, last one I got for you, T, is you're kind of stepping in here as not probably not the first year you've been a leader, but now you're the senior, you're the point guard, you're the first team all-league guy in the preseason. How have you kind of tried to shoulder a little bit of that leadership? This is my team. I'm going to take ownership of this kind of a role.
Just with my voice and actions, really. Not trying to overtalk the guys and try to make them think that I'm bigger than them because I've been here longer. Trying to like coexist with them, trying to teach them along the way, bring them with me in a way, and kind of show them how to do it. Like sometimes guys don't need you to yell at them; they just need to see it, and that's really what I'm trying to do with every drill, defensive slide drills, 5-out drills where we're just guarding air and just talking. Like those are the drills that I try to be the loudest, so guys see that I'm out there talking, and then when they go out there for the drill and their rep, they're out there trying to be as loud as me.
All right. Well, John, Tavari, it's great to see you guys. Best of luck this season. Make sure you get some cough drops there, John. I know it's still early in the
I
season,
will
but
for sure, man. My voice is struggling. You're right. I will say this, obviously, because I know this is going to be, aired. Rest in peace, Terry Weimer. Great person, obviously a great official, meant a lot to our profession, certainly to not only the officiating community, but to us coaches. When he was on your game, he was a pleasure to have just because he was such a great communicator and he owned everything. And he was easy to talk to and he didn't miss very many, extremely accurate, but just a good person, down to earth. Really enjoyed it when he was on our games. I think all of us as coaches, certainly for the most part, felt very comfortable with that because of his accuracy and the way that he handled himself. So God bless him and his family going through this time right now. We certainly thinking about Terry.
Well said, John. Well said.
Well said. Yep. Well, appreciate you guys being here. The Akron Zips, John Gross and Tavari Johnson. Best of luck this season, fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Take care.
We have about 10 minutes left here on our portion of Media Day. We're going to be joined by John Steinbrecher here in a minute, the commissioner of the MAC. And actually, I think he's in a really interesting spot here. John, welcome on to the show. Welcome on to Field of 68, MAC Media Day. Jeff Goodman, Rob Dauster. It's great to have you here. I think you're in a really interesting spot here as a commissioner in this era of college athletics because you're the commissioner of a league that has a really fun and really entertaining and really good football product. And you're also a league where you're going to have 1, 2, 3 teams on the basketball side that aren't just in the mix for making the tournament, but we could be talking about getting at-large quality bids here.
Well, we would certainly hope so. We have a history of being having very, very robust conference competition. And then our top teams generally are competitive with anyone nationally. Now, the question is, can we get out of the gates early enough, have the November and December that we have to set up the rest of the year? And that's really the challenge where we sit in the food chain. You don't get a lot of mulligans. And so got to stay healthy. You've got teams, and particularly in today's day and age where the rosters are being recreated on a yearly basis, the ability to blend those young men and young women together and do the things you have to do, it's really quite a challenge for our coaches.
John, great to see you, number one. And we had a blast today. We had a blast. Like, it was entertaining. I don't know how much you listened to it, but we have fun with the coaches. They're really good coaches. And I think, the big thing for me is looking at this league now, and you're seeing a lot of retention among some of these top teams, right? That you didn't expect out of maybe Akron, Miami. These are teams that won at a high level last year and were able to retain. How much of this was a talking point for the coaches and you over the offseason to make sure that they have the resources to be able to retain?
Well, it's less of a conversation between me and the coaches and me and our administrative groups, right? And so they all want to be successful, right? And so we're still in the infancy of what's going on with these additional benefits or revenue share, whatever you want to call it, as well as the third-party NIL. We have a handful of schools that I think are being very aggressive. I look to see continued growth in that from our membership. And then, you saw them today, you interacted with them today. We have a good group of folks. I really enjoy working with these people. They're strategic, they're hardworking, they want to lift everybody up. And that's not easy to do in a enterprise where your livelihood depends on beating up the person sitting across the table from you, right? So I am always have a lot of gratitude for how well our group works together in seeking ways to lift up every single team in this league.
John, the name of our company right here is the Field of 68, right? And that might not be something that continues past the season. Tournament expansion is a hot button topic, shall we say, in the world of college athletics. My question is, and I think this is specifically interesting for MAC basketball fans, because if it expands, what we want, me and Jeff specifically, is to be able to have access to the tournament for some of the best mid-major programs in a given year. And I think oftentimes there are going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 teams from the MAC that qualify as that. What can you do to ensure, if the tournament does expand, if this ends up being 76 here next season, how can we ensure that programs like your schools are going to be able to have access to those 8 extra bids?
That's a good question. You know, it was this summer when we were at commissioners meetings and Charlie Baker was there and having a conversation. And I raised the question as he was talking about possible expansion. I said, why are we doing this? What is the reason behind it? And he gave an answer that he's given consistently since that time. And it's along the lines of, there are deserving teams out there that should be in the tournament. I would argue wherever you draw the line, there's going to be deserving teams just below that line, right? So I guess I'm a little bit agnostic on expand it, don't expand it. What we have works pretty darn well. To some extent, we have such a large field for the upper end of the food chain. It certainly waters down their regular season a good bit. I don't think it does for us. And, you know, we've had updates along what they're thinking with brackets and so on. But I think that's going to be a work in progress of, okay, what happens if they do expand it? And how does it play into it? I don't think it's being expanded to ensure that the Mid-American Conference gets a second or third or fourth team in. You know, perhaps we do. That would be great. Whatever comes out of this, our focus needs to be, we go into those matchups and let's win those games. And so if I'm sitting here and if I start ending up in being 12 versus 12 games, maybe I'm not thrilled about that opening Tuesday or Wednesday, but I got news. That game is a more winnable game than a 13 versus 5 game or 4 game, right? So let's go and win that unit and let's go to the next round and win that next game. So whatever we do, I'm going to be a glass half full. Let's figure out a way to go into that tournament and let's be as successful as we can. Let's earn as many units and advance as far as we can.
Well, one of the big things that we've heard from coaches on this media day tour, especially once the mid-major level, is the scheduling issues that a lot of them are facing, right? I think you see from the Power 4 and Power 5 leagues, what they want are the best quad 1s or quad 4 opponents. And it feels like some of the programs like yours that are the quad 1/quad 2 variety can kind of get squeezed out of that. And it's very hard to put together an at-large resume without getting a couple of shots at some of the big boys. What can you guys do to help with their scheduling?
I agree. In fact, I saw it last year and I'm seeing it this year in our schedules. And we are not getting the games we used to get, plain and simple. And I don't think it's because of lack of effort. And I've had enough time talking with coaches and administrators on that. That's a problem. It's a problem because of what the metrics are. Given where we are in today's world of basketball, you would not have some of the emerging brands we've had in the past decade, given where we are with what's going on with roster transition and what's going on with scheduling. What can we do? We need to continue to reemphasize, lean into what we can do. And that is in the case of our league, we need to be playing more home games, plain and simple. We need to get more games on our own court. Let's take care of business first there. We need to continue, and Ricky Stokes, who oversees our men's and women's basketball, I task him with, be in touch with all of the MTE operators. Do what you can to find slots to put our teams in those events. Let's get as many of those as we can. And then quite frankly, are there ways to leverage scheduling in other sports to facilitate basketball scheduling? For instance, if you've got a basketball game, a football game comes up, and maybe it's a last minute game, you're helping somebody out. Can we leverage some basketball off of that, for instance? Those types of things. You try to be as creative as you can. I believe our folks are working hard at it, but you're touching on a concern that we continue to track, and it is an issue.
Tough to solve. Really, really tough to solve. John, are you still on the D1 Council?
I am. It's now called, well, it was coming out of the governance reset. It was called the Administrative Committee. It has now been renamed the Cabinet. So Stay tuned. We'll see what it's named next week.
What is, in your opinion, the biggest issue upcoming for men's basketball with regards to whatever they're calling it now, the cabinet, the council, whatever?
Yeah, you know what? I'll put a couple out there. We continue to play around with the transfer windows, right? When you can declare. We've not done a very good job of putting them somewhere and then living with them for a couple years and see if they actually work or not. And the corollary with that is also this. I don't think tampering has ever been worse than it is today. Regardless of having tampering windows transfer windows and all those things. I'll give you an example. We had a coach relate a story to me. He had essentially an agent come up to him with a sheet of players that he was in essence shopping. Well, the agent wasn't paying attention, and on that sheet were two of that coach's own players, right? So he was shopping his own players to him. Coach had no idea those players were even thinking about going into the portal at that time, right? That is, it's worse in basketball than it is, as far as I can tell, in any other sport. And we've got to get our hands around it. Part of the way we're going to get our hands around it, our coaches and others are going to have to be willing to come forward and name names and point at, hey, they're doing X, Y, and Z, right? It's hard to do. Unless we can get to that, it's going to be really hard to manage that. I think another issue we need to pay attention to is in and around sports wagering. And I've been a proponent. I was a proponent of legalized sports wagering. I think it brings transparency and sunshine onto something, and I think it helps us to identify where we have problems and issues. I think we have some problems in college basketball in and around some sports wagering and some games being played with manipulating, not necessarily outcomes. I don't know enough about that, but certainly one of the trends we've seen are people trying to manipulate the over-under in the first half, for instance. I think in the next 6 months, you'll be reading more and more about that. We need to get our hands around that. And whether it's getting prop bets out of the game, better educating our student athletes as to, folks, everybody is watching you. There's reams of data. I get a readout on every single game that is played in a handful of sports from an integrity services, the investigations we will do if we think we detect some anomaly. And let's face it, in basketball, you're going to have off nights, right? So there's always anomalies going on, but are there trends you can detect and things like that? We've got to get our hands around that. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on it because at the end of the day, one of the biggest things my office needs to do, our schools need to do, our coaches, our student athletes need to do is ensure the integrity of the game. If we lose that, we've got a problem. Now, I don't think that's widespread, but there's enough of it going on that we really need to pay attention to this and get our hands around it.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. John,
yeah,
that was
great.
Before Rob jumps in and we say goodbye to you and finish the men's portion of this, this might have been the best interview we've ever done with a commissioner, ever. Because but it's true. And I think you've been doing it long enough that you're not worried about any repercussions or anything like that. You say it the way it is. And man, some of those answers were just really informative and really honest. So we appreciate that.
It's great to be with you today. Thank you for working with our teams and our league. And I know we'll be crossing paths somewhere down the road this season.
Yep. It was awesome, John. You have some great coaches, some entertaining kids in this conference.
Looking forward to it.
That's John Steinbrecher, commissioner of the MAC. We're going to step away here for a minute. On the other side, the talented Goodman, the smarter Goodman, the Goodman that everybody actually wants to be around and be associated with. The lovely Talia is going to be taking over and running the show as we go to MAC Women's Media Day. That's coming up next. The college basketball season will begin right here on the Field of 68. At 8 a.m. on November 3rd, we will be tipping off the inaugural Field of 68 Thanks, Megan. Great job, man. Day marathon. 15 hours of nonstop basketball. It will begin in Rock Hill, presented by our friends at Visit York County. Plan your itinerary today at visityorkcounty.com. Winthrop will face off with Queens in the opener, followed by Bradley taking on St. Bonaventure. Then we head out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it'll be presented by Sanford Sports, who is changing the way people play and making sports accessible and fun for all. Murray State gets Omaha at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, with Drake taking on Northern Arizona in the second game in Sioux Falls. Then it's back to Rock Hill for a showdown between Furman and High Point, with Merrimack taking on South Dakota State in Sioux Falls in the nightcap. Tickets for all 6 games are on sale now at the links in the description below. Field of 68, opening day.
Hello and welcome into MAC Women's Basketball Media Day with Field of 68. We're going to get started right away here. We're going to preview all 13 teams. We got a coach and a player coming in, and our first one is already here. We're going to start off talking to the reigning champs, Ball State. We got head coach Brady Sally here, and we got a player here as well, Grace Kingery. How are you guys doing today?
Good, Talia. How are you?
I'm good. Really excited. I'm starting the show off really strong, getting to talk to you guys. So very, very excited about it.
Might as well just end it after this one. Just end it after this.
What's the point?
Right.
What's the point in even going on? But I guess to start off, obviously you guys were able to make an NCAA tournament appearance last year, had a phenomenal year over there. This is a new look team though. You got a lot of freshmen coming in, a couple transfers. Where does this group stack up in your mind, Brady? What's impressed you about this group?
Well, probably two answers to a really good question. In terms of where do we stack up, I think we're probably about as normal of a college basketball team as there is these days. You've got a bunch of new players. You're trying to figure it out. I think most people are probably in that boat in this day and age. So, in terms of that, I think we're in a good place because I love our talent. And I think early on, we're going to have to rely on some of that talent. We've got some good transfers that we brought in. I think we've got some freshmen that are physically ready for the Division I level. And it'll be clunky a little bit early, I'm sure at times. But we also have a good mix of returners that saw what the elite level looked like last year. And so we're going to really just try to lean on all of that to see if we can get through this pre-conference, learn a lot about ourselves, and then get into a really competitive league and see if we can't climb those ladders again in March.
Absolutely. Grace, you're one of the few players on this team that was here for the NCAA tournament appearance last year. How much do you feel like that experience has helped you heading into this season?
Yeah, it's taught me a lot, especially just last year with everybody, like the leadership. They taught me, things that I need to know this year and how I can lead this year for the team.
Yeah, what was that experience like for you? How cool was it getting to experience that your freshman year, and how motivated are you to get back there?
Yeah, it was just something that, and you never think that you're going to experience. So just being there and getting minutes and all that stuff, it just really helps out.
Brady, tell me a little bit about this freshman class you have coming in, right? Because you got 7 freshmen. Obviously, we'll get to the transfers. You got a couple good ones there too. But I want to talk about these freshmen because no one's seen them on a college court yet. So I want to hear kind of in your opinion, what stood out about this group, and is there anyone that you're, really expecting to contribute from the jump?
Yeah, I mean, the funny part is most of them, none of them have even seen them in the United States. So it's a very international heavy class. And I think, again, my associate head coach, Audrey Spencer, did a great job of bringing these kids in here. And so, we stretched the globe in terms of our talent on the roster this year. And really our focus was less about transfer portal or, any of that. It was just solely talent. And so I think we did that. You look at a kid like Anis Tagiai from France, elite athlete, maybe one of the best athletes I've ever coached. When she lays it up, she reminds me of myself a little bit, probably elbow over the rim type of thing. Grace is laughing right now, but I'll make her pay for that. But really, really talented, just figuring out, the motor and the everyday that this level takes. You move to Zen Verbit, that from Belgium, just again, a Division I body, physical, very, very versatile, can score it up. Alba, our big kid from Spain, so talented, maybe one of the best passers on our team at 6'3". Gigi, our point guard from Italy, immensely talented. And then Brooke Winchester, our one freshman from in the States, comes from a really highly touted high school program in the state and really knows what winning's about, which is always important to us too. So I think all of these kids are going to get their moments and, certain games that may look different, but I think the one common denominator is the talent level with all of them.
As we're talking about freshmen, I know you're not, allowed to specifically comment on this, but I had to note it because I'm on Twitter more than anybody, right? And I've been seeing a couple notifications popping up about you guys this off season, and it seems like you've been doing a really great job on the recruiting trail. And I've watched these kids, so really impressed with what you've been able to add. And I'm excited to see these international freshmen because obviously it's hard to keep track of the international kids during the recruiting process. So I'm excited to get a first look at them. And you said obviously not, you're not focused on just transfer portal, but you did add 2 kids that I've watched a ton of over the years, and I'm really excited about in Carson from Butler and Bree from Gonzaga. What do they bring? What were you kind of looking for when you were attacking the transfer portal this offseason?
Yeah, so we were really specific with the needs, and the big thing for me in that portal is I want to have some knowledge of who it is we're talking to. We're not cold callers where we just see a kid and, oh, she plays at this program, so let's give her a call and see if it sticks. I want to know who we're getting into. I want to know the families. I want to know that kind of thing because culture here is awful important. So, we did not approach it from a sense of desperation. And so I think that helped us quite a bit, and it's a reason that we only brought in 2. But both of these kids were needs. Clearly when you're losing an Allie Becky, who's been a mainstay here at the point guard, you need some experience. And so with Carson, we knew her clearly from all her high school days down there at BNL, high level winner, high level motor. And some good experience in the Big East, playing against UConn is going to toughen you up, right? Playing against Seton Hall and Creighton and those kind of programs are going to toughen you up. And so I think the stage will never be too big for her. And so I think now she's in a system that hopefully lends to her playing a little bit freer. And she can use some of the talent level that we know she has. We're going to expect her to score the ball a little bit more than what she's been asked to do in previous years. So she's already off to a great start that way. And then Bree Sallenbein was a kid that, again, coming out of high school, loved her game, saw her play a ton. She had all the stars next to her name, so she had chances to go anywhere she wanted to go and chose a great program in Gonzaga. And again, when you've been in that culture, right, and then you're coming to our culture, it's probably a little bit easier to understand why we demand what we demand because she's been through it. She expects to win. She expects to be the best team in the league. And so I think her ability, even though she's new here, to help lead is something that we're really leaning on. But her role is going to be quite a bit different here, and I think she's excited about that. For the first time maybe in her career, she's learning where the paint is. She's kind of lived around that 3-point line, but Grace has, full territory to that 3-point line. So Bree had to go find some other places to play and is finding some success around there and then using the 3-point line to her advantage. So it's been fun to see her kind of grow quickly but we're going to need her to do that, and we're going to lean on her early. That's for sure.
Brady, before I let you go, I heard that at least a few years ago you had a nickname that you went by. I don't know if you still go by it, but I heard Notorious B. Ray D is your nickname
Notorious
that you use.
You know, Talia, I have so many nicknames, that we could go on, and it could almost be a show in and of itself.
I
Some of
should
the
have done more
names
research.
probably, yeah, some of the names my players call me, we can't probably get into, but Notorious B. Rady is one of my favorites. But yeah, it all probably stems from I think I'm cooler than I really am. So that's probably
What's your
where we'll leave
favorite
that.
nickname? What's your nickname for Coach?
I don't really say any nicknames. I just say Brady. So,
She's got the best one on the team. We call her Hollywood.
Why is that?
So
Are you you're
like
too
when
cool
you
for
can be
everyone?
called Hollywood, like that's pretty big time right there.
I love it. Well, I'm really excited to watch you guys this season. I don't know if you know, I'm right down the road in Bloomington, so I will definitely be up there to see you guys. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk today.
Hey, appreciate what you do, and proud to see how you're exploding into the women's basketball scene. So best of luck to you as well.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And now we're going to bring in our next head coach. We'll keep it rolling. We got Bowling Green coming up with Fred Schmiel and Paige Kohler coming to join us. Not sure if they're here yet. They're coming in. All right, here they are. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Yeah, doing great.
Awesome. Very excited to get to talk to you today. Fred, you're heading back into your third season now. You bring back some key pieces, including the players sitting to your, I don't know if it's your left or right if we're flipped right now, but to your side. What's impressed you about her growth, and how important was it to bring her back this year?
Yeah, I mean, extremely important. She's, the core foundation of our group. She's got a wealth of experience. As a freshman, she probably played junior minutes. Like, we wore her out, over 1,000 minutes per year. So she's got a lot of minutes under her belt. But with those minutes, she's had tremendous growth. We've seen her game just blossom, especially this year. Kind of hate talking about her, especially in front of her. I don't want her head to blow up, but she's done a fantastic job of elevating her game, and more so than that, her leadership has grown tremendously, and we're looking forward to her leading our group. And this is a new group and an old group. We got a good mix of talent, incoming and existing. So the leadership portion is an important piece of that, and meshing both of those groups.
Paige, what's the biggest thing you've been working on this offseason that you're excited to show off, and when the season starts in less than 2 weeks now?
Like you said, I would say leadership. I know that's not necessarily like a basketball like actual skill, but I think leadership. From previous people like Amy Velasco, I mean, just playing under her and learning from her it was a great experience, and being able to become a better leader, playing for other people like that. I mean, it's been huge, and it's helping me to lead the group we have now.
Yeah, absolutely. Fred, I was looking at your schedule, and obviously you have a tough schedule to begin with, but there's one game in particular that I kind of circled on here, and not just because of the caliber of team you're playing, but because of your relationship, obviously, with the head coach, which is Don Staley at South Carolina. I guess generally what went into your scheduling philosophy, and then more specifically, how excited are you to get back down there and play that game?
Yeah, I'm excited for the weather and the food for sure. I get to see some old friends. The venue's incredible. I always say that I like to give our student athletes experiences that they wouldn't otherwise get. I mean, we played in Hawkeye Carver Arena. We played against Caitlin Clark. We've had South Carolina here. We've gone to West Virginia. We've gone to Ohio State. I want to give them experiences, and there's no greater road experience than playing in front of the largest fan base in the country for the last decade, and that's the University of South Carolina. So we're looking forward to the challenge. We're looking forward to the experience. We know coming out of that tunnel, it's going to be a shock to the system, but it's still basketball, and we hope to perform well and compete.
How excited are you for that, Paige? Like, being in that kind of environment with that level of competition this early in the season, like what are your kind of feelings towards starting off that way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Like you said, we've had those opportunities in the past, and I don't know if we've necessarily taken advantage of that. Like, being able to go to South Carolina and playing in front of such a huge fan base, I mean, it'll just be awesome. Like, we obviously get a great fan base here in Bowling Green, but playing at South Carolina, I mean, it's going to be a sold out arena, and that'll just be an awesome experience for everybody, especially the people who have not experienced that before.
Absolutely. And you guys bring back, in this day and age, Fred, you bring back a lot for what others, like, kind of comparatively speaking. You bring back 9 players, but obviously you add a freshman and 3 transfers as well. When you were kind of, I verb it now, when you were portaling, what were you kind of prioritizing and hoping to get when you added these 3 transfers?
Well, I think Brady put it best, talent. We needed talent. We needed to replace a point guard that was, first team all conference. So those were our main things. But above all, I know our team, I know our staff, and somewhat our university and our community competitiveness. We need competitiveness. We need people that are going to go out there with a chip on their shoulder and try to get the work done that we need done without complaining and without fear. And I think we have a very competitive group, and we show that each and every day in practice. It's just a different vibe this year. It's a very intense. There's a physicality to it. I'm just really pleased with the group that we have in here and what we've brought to the table.
Yeah, where do you feel like your biggest improvements have come this offseason, whether it's with the returning core that you bring back or with the players you add?
Yeah, no question, defensively. I thought that was the biggest area that we could improve in. And defensively, we've grown expeditiously. I mean, it's incredible from where we started to where we're at now. It's going to be a whole new team. It's going to be something that it's unrecognizable. If you saw us play last year, this year will be totally different.
Someone I want to talk about in particular is Lauren Gherkin, who had a really big season for you guys last year. I'm curious what her offseason has looked like, what impressed you about her freshman campaign, and what we can expect from her this year.
Yeah, I think, before she got hurt, there was a huge amount of growth there. She was just getting acclimated to Division I basketball. So we got cheated a little bit. She got hurt, sat out the rest of the season, but has come back really strong, has really matured, knows the game, knows her game, and we expect big things from her. We got to keep her healthy. She's a little banged up right now. She's got a sprained ankle, but she'll be ready to go before you know it. And we're looking forward to that experience that she had, but also, the youth and exuberance that comes with not being able to play your entire freshman season. I think she still has that. So the mesh of those two things I think it'll be a great experience for her.
Absolutely. Paige, who's someone that maybe I'm not paying enough attention to yet that I should be? Someone that I should be keeping my eye on this season? Other than you. Of course you. I'm keeping my eye on you.
I'd say Nay Donahue. I think obviously she's a menace on defense and she's a great defensive player, but I think she's expanded her offensive game as well. And I think she is someone that people need to watch out for. And like I said, not just defensively, but offensively as well. And she's someone who knows the game, she's competitive, and she's going to do what it takes for us to win.
What are your goals for this season? When you look forward for the year, I know it's hard and the season hasn't started yet, but what do you hope to accomplish, both personally and as a team?
As a team, I would say like a MAC championship. We have those goals. We want to get to the NCAA tournament. That's a big team goal this year. I think everyone's bought into that, and everyone's going to do what they can to get us to that point. I guess I'm more focused on that than an individual goal. I mean, it would be awesome to be first team, player of the year, whatever. But again, I want to accomplish those team goals before the individual goals come.
Absolutely. Fred, what does this group need to do to win a MAC championship this year? What are the keys for you guys?
Standard is pretty high. I think, being consistent with that standard, being able to compete at the highest level for 40 minutes. I think if we can do that, I think we can be in the top of the conference, at least compete for a MAC championship. We have enough talent. We have the competitive spirit. We've got the experience. We've got the leadership. So, we have all the ingredients. It's just up to us to bring it each and every day for 40 minutes and then some, because it's going to take more than that.
I asked Paige this, but I want to ask you too to get maybe there's a different player who should get some spotlight here. Who's another player who I should definitely be paying attention to this year? And you can say Paige. I saw you point at her. Maybe tell me more about how she's going to help you guys.
Yeah, it's more than a basketball thing. I think her leadership is going to be extremely important for us. We're going to have those ups and downs. There's incomers, there's freshmen, there's existing players that, maybe think they should be playing more minutes, but having control of that locker room and having great leadership and strength, it will be an important key. And, each and every day in our practice, it's a battle, it's a war. We make them practice very hard. We make them compete very hard. So there can't be any wavering there. And I think Paige does a great job of keeping us, level and keeping that team camaraderie up and keeping them energized and focused on what we're trying to do. And as long as she does that, her basketball skills speak for themselves. I mean, you can see it's just a gradual climb. I think it's going to get even higher this year, but her leadership is probably going to be the most important thing to our team this year.
Paige, but we let Fred speak about you a little. I want you to speak about him a little bit now and tell me.
I don't know.
Tell me your favorite thing about Coach. What stands out about him? What makes you keep wanting to play for him?
Our relationship, not just ours, but the relationship he has with his players as well. He can be on the court. He's going to hold you accountable, but off the court, he's going to forget about.
What was she going to say? He can be. What are you going to say?
He's a tough coach to play for, but off the court, it's hard love. Off the court, he's going to forget about a mistake you might have made on the court, but he's still going to love you no matter what. And it's not going to change your relationship that you have with him. He's not going to change how he treats you as a person.
Yeah, I love that. I have a question that I'm supposed to ask you, Fred. I'm supposed to ask you how many pairs of Kobe's you own.
Oh, man, that's a good question.
Do you or Nay have more?
I have. I just don't know how many.
What's your estimate?
20?
Oh, wow. I have no
18,
idea.
20?
He wears a new pair.
18 or
Mondays.
20.
Yeah.
You got to pay homage. You got to pay homage to Kobe.
I love it. What's the next? You have like another pair that you're eyeing that you're trying to get your hands on right now?
I want the Mombasitas, the black and white Mombasitas. They're about, they're hard to get your hands on though. So I need a plug. You got a plug?
I'll look into it for you as soon as we get off. I'll call my contacts and I'll get back to you on that for sure. But yeah, no, I heard you have a big shoe obsession, so I was supposed to ask you about that. Paige, are you privy to the shoe obsession? Do you notice it? Does he talk about it all the time?
No, but he just comes in with a different pair of shoes all the time. Okay. But yeah, no, he doesn't really talk about it much, but
he doesn't bring any for you guys. No special shoes for you.
Oh, yeah.
I hook him up.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, okay. We got a pair of orange ones a couple weeks ago.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to maybe see him at some point soon and see you guys play this year. Excited to see what you guys can do. And it was great talking to you guys today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for your coverage of women's basketball. Let's keep this momentum going.
Absolutely. Let's keep it going. I love it. It was great talking to you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Up next, we're going to have Kent State join us. Todd Starkey, Janae Tyler coming in to join us for a conversation. I think hopefully they're going to come in a minute. Let's talk through the preseason poll, though, while we wait, because that came out, and there are some exciting things to talk about here. And atop that list is who's coming to join us right now. Kent State is projected to win, and they lost no one to the portal. All of these top 4 teams on the list, Kent State, Toledo, UMass, Ball State, barely lost anything to the portal. So that's a trend that I noticed there for sure. Then Central Michigan, Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio, Akron, Western Michigan, Ohio, Buffalo, Eastern Michigan, and Northern Illinois to round it out. We got 3 new head coaches in this league that we're going to talk to today. We got Kay Dauster at Western Michigan, Kristen Sharkey at Buffalo, and JC Brooks at Northern Illinois. But I think what stands out to me here is Kent State coming back atop the preseason poll. They do such a great job every year, and it really does stand out to me. This is their second consecutive year where no one has entered the transfer portal, which is as everyone knows, a big rarity in this landscape that we're in right now. So excited to see how their returners improve as they head into this season. And then Toledo, they obviously have a big, brand name in college basketball. So many great coaches have gone through there, and there's a great coach there right now in Ginny Bogus. And they didn't lose any real contributors to the portal. They added some really interesting pieces, so excited to talk to them later on as well. But I think, what's interesting to me, honestly, is the middle, because I think, 5 through 9, even 10 could really go any way, and I wouldn't be shocked about it. But Kent State there atop the preseason poll. We're going to talk to head coach Todd Starkey up next. And then we got the preseason All-MAC first team that came out as well, and the second team. Let's talk through that super quick. We're going to talk to her up next too, that name one on that list, Janae Tyler from Kent State, 6'1" post player. She averaged nearly 12 points a game and 5 boards a game. Then we got Kendall Carruthers from Toledo. Maddie Morrison from Central Michigan. She's entering her sophomore season and averaged 16.5 points per game as a freshman last year. Then Paige Kohler, who we just talked to from Bowling Green. And then we got Ticia Leko, who we'll talk to later on today from Eastern Michigan, 6'2" senior. Averaged 17.9 points per game and 10.1 rebounds per game, a double-double every game. And then on the second team, we're going to talk to a couple of these players too later on in the day. Amber Treader from Miami, Ayana Sarai Darrington from Central Michigan, Megan Olbrys from UMass, Maya Babbitt, Kent State, and Yamani McHale at UMass. So that rounds out the preseason All-MAC first and second team there. And I think what stands out to me, honestly, from this list is that we got a sophomore on this list who had a phenomenal freshman season. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do. And we'll go to break real quick here, and we'll come back as soon as Todd Starkey joins us to talk about Kent State.
The college basketball season will begin right here on the Field of 68. At 8 a.m. on November 3rd, we will be tipping off the inaugural Field of 68 opening day marathon. 15 hours of nonstop basketball. It will begin in Rock Hill, presented by our friends at Visit York County. Plan your itinerary today at visityorkcounty.com. Winthrop will face off with Queens in the opener, followed by Bradley taking on St. Bonaventure. Then we head out to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where it'll be presented by Sanford Sports, who is changing the way people play and making sports accessible and fun for all. Murray State gets Omaha at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, with Drake taking on Northern Arizona in the second game in Sioux Falls. Then it's back to Rock Hill for a showdown between Furman and High Point, with Merrimack taking on South Dakota State in Sioux Falls in the nightcap. Tickets for all 6 games are on sale now at the links in the description below. Field of 68 opening day. Do you need your fix of college basketball analysis at the end of every night during the season? If you crave instant reactions and informed breakdowns, make sure you tune into the Field of 68 After Dark every night, with access to the biggest stars in the sport and a cast of characters that includes the likes of Tyler Hansborough, Randolph Childress, John Fanta, John Henson, Terrence Oglesby, Jarrell McNeil, and many, many more. The Field of 68 After Dark is where college basketball happens.
AI is the story of an athlete. And every athlete deserves to have the story told. Under the lights and in the spotlight. This is your moment, your room. Download, capture, create, share. Athlete AI. Your name is trending.
There is no sport in America that is more difficult to follow than college basketball. It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for injury updates, recruiting news, and transfer portal additions that actually matter. For just $50 a year, get access to the same information that your favorite team's coaching staff is subscribed for. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help you with that.
Welcome back to MAC Women's Basketball Media Day. Very excited to be joined by Kent State head coach Todd Starkey and Janae Tyler today. How are you guys doing? You guys able to hear me there? I think I don't think I can hear you, unfortunately. Oh no. I might be talking to myself here. Let's see. Oh, we're going to get their sound figured out real quick and they'll be back. But excited to talk to Janae Tyler and Todd Starkey. He's been there for forever since 2016, so has a lot of experience with this program. And excited to talk to him about how he's managed to avoid all the transfer portal not trouble. I don't want to say trouble, but every team typically has someone heading to the portal, and they've avoided that for the past 2 years. So really impressive stuff. Excited to talk to him about that. And excited to see what this team looks like this year with so many returners. They had just one transfer this year. We're going to talk about her, Emery Klatt from DePaul, and then talk about the growth of some of these returners, including Janae Tyler, who's going to be talking with us. So excited to get them on and talk about this team and what they bring back and where they've grown. They also have a really tough schedule heading into this year. They play at James Madison, at West Virginia, at Xavier, at Ohio State, at Duquesne, and they're going to the Bahamas, which I wish I could join them. I might try to join them for that trip over Thanksgiving. But hopefully we can get their sound working in just a minute here and get them back on to talk through this team that's projected to finish number 1 in the league. So we'll see if we can get their sound back. Also something I'm going to talk to him about, and I didn't want to spoil it before he's on here, but I feel like I should now, is his family. If you didn't know, his son is a movie star now. It's Drew Starkey is his son. He was in Outer Banks, which I watched. My mom watched. She loved it. And then he was in a star-studded movie earlier this year. So we're going to talk about his family and how he didn't manage to get any of them to come into sports. They all went into the arts or something else. None of them ended up playing any sports. So we'll talk to him about that as well on a fun note. And yeah, we'll get back to that as soon as we get them in here. But we got a big day today. We're going to be going until about 3 p.m. After that, we got Akron head coach Ryan Gensler coming on, and we're going to have a fun time talking to him. He used to be in Big Ten country over here at Illinois, so I'm here in Indiana, if you didn't know. So I ran into him a few times there and was able to get on campus actually at Akron a couple of years ago to catch a game and really love their arena and what he's been able to do over there, entering his 3rd season. But yeah, we got a lot more to come today. Lots of coaches, lots of players to talk to. This is a really loaded league with some great coaches in it. So very excited to keep talking to everyone there. And we got a lot of the first and second teamers preseason talking to us today. So if you want the sneak peek preview on what we can expect from them this year, this is where you want to be today at MAC Women's Basketball Media Day. Yeah, hopefully there must be something going on with their sound because they're still not in here. But yeah, hopefully we get them in. We can talk to Kent State soon and keep this thing rolling along. But yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about with them too. So I'm excited to get them in here. But later on, we'll talk to, after Akron, we'll get Ohio's Bob Bolden in here. He's been also at Ohio since 2013, and they return a ton of experience as well. So there, as much as the transfer portal hits everybody, right? It does, except for Kent State, as we mentioned. There were a lot of really great players who opted to return to the MAC, which I think says a lot about the league and the talent that they're able to retain here and grow here and develop. There's a lot of it. So we'll talk to a lot of them later on today. And the other thing that stands out about this league is they're not afraid to play really good teams. I mean, a lot of Big Ten teams in the mix that they're playing. I think there are like 3 or 4 of them that are playing a couple Big East teams, and Xavier's a big common opponent here. So they're not shying away from playing really good talent every day. So awesome. We're going to get Kent State head coach Todd Starkey in here to join us now with Janae Tyler. Let's see if we can get him in here. Hey, did we get the sound working? How are you guys doing? Good, how are you?
We can hear you now.
Oh, yay. So happy. How's everything going? Having a good day so far?
Yeah, great now. Yep.
Good. Well, I'm excited to get to talking with you. While you were figuring out your sound, I was rambling about how impressed I've been.
Process to bring in really good people and that are going to, want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And for one reason or another, they've chosen to stay here and continue to work hard here. And we're excited about having this group back.
Janae, what's your take on that? I don't know if you realize, because maybe you're in, the bubble of no one entering the portal there, but it's not normal. This is a big anomaly. What's your take on why everyone wants to stay at Kent State?
I think the coaches do a great job recruiting girls that fit the team that is already here. I think you could put anybody on our team in a room together and would get along. Like, it would just be like being in a room with your best